Okay, do we want to kick off the actual podcast, or do you want to just keep
let's-
watching commercials as a group,
Well-
as a whole, as an entity?
I don't know if everybody else wants to.
Wait,
watch it.
okay. On three, we're all going to sing "It's Such a Perfect Day." Ready? On three. 1, 2, 3.
What?
It's such a... Oh, come on! All right, guys. Welcome to the Weekly Poll. I'm Benny the Comic Story, and that is Rob from Marvel/Comics/DC/Rob Explains, and that is Sal from Comics Pop TV Little House, and Sal Says What, and I don't know anything. I know you have more.
Yeah, I sure had that show a year ago.
All right, guys, we're back, and we're gonna do it back in black, back in classic, Men in Black. We're gonna kick it off with a Wild Wild West rap.
Hold on.
It's happening.
Hold on. If we're gonna
Did
be
you get back from your improv class?
if we're gonna be Men in Black, like I know it's weird, but just bear with me here. I want to be Tommy Lee Jones. I don't want to be
Why
Will
would-
Smith.
That's
Why?
so funny. If we're gonna do Men in Black, can I be the best one?
The best one.
Dude, I'm not even looking at that. Like, there's two Men in Black guys. There's the black one and the white one. Rob's like, I want to be the white one.
I want to be the white one. I want to be the white guy.
I want to be the white guy. I feel like I can't rap as well as Will Smith, so I don't even want to challenge that.
No, I've never heard you rap, and I can already tell you can.
I would love to hear Benny rap. That'd
Me?
be amazing. Yeah.
Yo, I got some white bread, and I'm coming down from my house with all my soccer practice. Then we went to go do some hockey.
Wow.
None of that rhymed.
None of that rhymed. Those
You
are some
don't
of
need
the,
to
some of the
rhyme as
hottest
long
raps
as you're
I've ever
feeling
heard.
as long as you're feeling the music in your soul.
That's true. That's
Dude,
what I'm saying.
some of the best raps ever heard were just heard by you guys in the chat.
Yeah.
And us.
All right, guys. So today, as a welcome back to us, because we like to welcome ourselves back.
Yeah, welcome back, Comic Story and Comics Explained. You guys
Sal
are
had a
It's
great
like Welcome
idea.
Back, Cotter.
Yeah.
Sal had a great idea of us pulling up this image thing, which is what I have in the corner over here, guys. You can see it in the far right-hand corner.
Yep.
And that is the current leaked covers of the new Marvel lineup coming out in what, September, Sal?
I guess. Yeah, fall, they say.
Yeah,
Fall.
whenever
Okay.
it is, a Secret Wars ends, which it like the trade paperback comes out in November, so I'm assuming that it'll be around like September or so.
By the way, I love how Marvel was so prepared for this leak, because, what was it,
the
a comic book
leak?
retailer scanned all the preview pages from his previews magazine, and then, like last night, we get these high-quality, full-page preview images from Marvel that were like, yeah, okay. And they have interviews and quotes from all the creative teams. I'm like, yeah, you guys were just, what, a day behind?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is basically just what DCU did with their
Yeah.
like, oh, look at all the new books coming out. Like, you aren't liking what we're doing right now? Well, here's what's coming out.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm
someone
sorry
leaked
you
the
guys don't
content.
like stuff that makes no sense.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these titles don't make any damn sense.
Let me tell you, just right off the bat, because I looked through all this whole thing, and it was a whole range, a whole spectrum of emotion of oh and no.
Well,
And,
some of the, I'm sitting there like, yes, no, yes,
yeah,
what?
exactly.
That's exactly. It was a roller coaster. It was a roller coaster of emotions.
So
Yeah.
we're going to go back through this list, guys, and we're going to take you with us for this roller coaster of emotions today. And next week, Faust will be back. Faust is off in Paris right now, for
Yeah.
anybody who's asking. We thought about bringing in a guest today, but we felt we haven't had TWP Classic in a while. It's
true.
We haven't had TWP Classic.
Yeah.
So that means, Sal,
like,
you got to go. We need Dave.
Yeah,
like,
right?
Benny referred to it as classic Coke.
Yeah.
And he's like, we're like the original Coca-Cola that nobody wants.
Yeah, everyone wants Coke Classic. Nobody like New Coke.
Okay.
She's about to find out. Okay, apparently she's not. We got to block the screen because she's about to reveal who Arkham Knight is.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, she is, isn't she? Oh my God, Arkham Knight is.
Can somebody? I can't do it, but Sal or Rob, before we get started on this, could you link the images there?
Yeah,
to the
totally.
chat so they
I
can follow
will.
along with us if
I
they
am.
like to.
Oh, whoops.
Well, I'll let Sal do it since he's already on top of it.
Yeah, why not? Why not just let
Benny's like, hey, would you guys mind doing it? Sal's like, I will.
Yeah, got it.
I'll do it.
I'm already there. It's already happened.
Also, while we're doing this, guys, just so you know, the gaming podcast that we tried out while I was gone, and then the anime podcast that came up last week, those are going to become regular rotations. Starting next week, you'll be able to find the time and dates for those. They won't be on Tuesday. This is going to remain the weekly poll, but the weekly play, and then whatever the heck Faust named that anime one. I don't know.
It was
Does
just a
anyone know what it was
anime
called?
edition.
That's all it was. You couldn't even
Weekly
think of a better
Full
name.
Anime Edition.
That's all we got.
The Weekly Faust.
That's all we got.
That's all we got.
Well, the weekly full anime edition will have its own day also.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have 3 days out of the week of podcast, and I apologize for the degrading kind of call quality. I guess Sal's being attacked attacked by internet gerbils.
I guess. I mean, it looks
We lost
fine
out.
to me. I have full bars, and I'm not even downloading anything. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what it's doing. I shouldn't be either. So
Wow.
I know I don't. I'm looking. I don't have anything on the download queue.
Yeah,
I don't have anything. I don't think it's on BattleNet. Maybe it's doing something in the background.
maybe.
Okay. All right, guys. So yeah, it's linked in there. I'm trying not to spoil it. Zodical, you need to go to the crew.
Sorry.
Zodical,
Sorry.
you need to go to the crew because apparently you're about to spoil it for everyone.
Wow. Zodical's spoiling the whole game for everybody.
She is. She's really. Yeah, you're apparently about to get to the reveal. And
Thank
everyone-
you, Zodical.
Yeah, everyone can see your screen. You have to change it.
Sorry.
You're ruining the podcast for all of our
you
viewers.
guys, God.
She hates us. Well,
All right, guys. So let's go ahead and get started then. I mean, we don't have much more to say. Actually, you know what? Let's go through the list first, and then Rob, you and I will tell our story of being in Texas and hanging out and meeting some wonderful fans out there.
Yeah, let's hear it, man.
Going to medieval times and me heckling the Black and White Knight. That
oh,
was fun.
dude, man, you would not stop giving. It was Patrick Dempsey, and you would not stop giving him shit. It was
It was
hilarious.
just you kept calling them all Odin.
Yeah, well, yeah. that's
All the
true.
let's do that.
fans? You were
Let's
calling all the
talk
fans
about this for
Odin?
so. So
No,
let's
you're
start this
calling
off. So we
Odin.
go to the medieval times. Okay, so this was the last night of our trip. First off, we went to Texas. It was great, guys. We were in Arlington. We had to go to Wild West Comics in Arlington, Texas. We hung out there for like 3 hours, chatting with a bunch of you amazing people. We met
Yes.
Orem. He's on the chat right now. We had a great time. It was amazing. And then after that, we went to Six Flags, which was not amazing at all. It was kind of
Okay.
disappointing.
Benny's downplaying it.
You got to see
All
the
right.
Hall of Justice. I
We-
mean, there were all
dude,
kinds of cool things
we
going
got
on.
I
in
totally
there.
beat Rob at that, by the way.
Nice.
Dude, we got in there, and no, you didn't beat me at that. My team won. My team won. But no, dude, we got in there, and like by the time we left, Benny's like, yeah, like this theme park's not very good.
Okay,
And I was
in
like,
my defense, I literally had just been to Disney World and Universal Studios the week before.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
No, yeah.
That's what I said.
No.
I was like, you went to two of the biggest theme parks, like the two biggest theme parks in the country.
Yep.
Like,
And then you went to one of the Six Flags.
in one of the Six Flags. Like, everything's going to seem small. You could have gone to Busch Gardens, and it would have seemed very small.
That was the Busch Garden. Anyway, so we did that, and the Hall of Justice was cool. We got to
Oh,
go
it
on a
was a
bunch of cool
blast.
rides. The Mr. Freeze thing. Oh, dude. Okay, so we were going to the Mr. Freeze roller coaster, and it's the first time it's launching for the day. And these girls, they're like 15, 16, they're piling into the thing first. And I guess one of the seatbelts didn't work.
Oh.
Now they're getting her out of it, and they're not going to put her in it. So I'm having fun being like, that's a good thing, because you totally would have died. That seatbelt wouldn't have worked. This thing goes up,
Yeah.
all this going to fall out.
Good job,
So
Benny.
I'm having a great time. And then
Inspiring Terror.
Right. So I'm spying Terry on this poor girl, and she gets out of the ride, and she goes and stands back in line so they can find one of the seats for her, and they fix it and bring her back to the same seat.
So now she's got to worry about dying because Benny cursed her.
Yeah.
That is how like Final Destination films happen. Somebody's like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if like this roller coaster
Everyone
screwed up
died?
and your head got chopped off? And then it's like, oh, that's never gonna happen, and then somebody's head gets sheared right
So,
off.
but we got to do that. That was a lot of fun. Rob got to go on the Hall of Justice. I totally kicked his butt at that one. Then we did the fan meetup the next day, and we went to Medieval Times that night. And let me tell you,
Oh,
we
my
get into
God.
that, and Rob and I are both like, so we walk in, and we're like, nah, we're not going to really drink tonight. Rob's like, I don't drink too much. And I'm like, I'm not really feeling it today, you know? So we get in, and of course you're standing there for like an hour waiting for Medieval Times to let you in, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So the first thing Drake does and his wife, they go over there and they just buy a bunch of beer.
Yep.
So they're drinking, and then me and Rob are chatting, and Rob just looks over and he's like, that looks yummy. Look at that.
Okay. Now, having said that, I have my mug with me, my commemorative mug, because by God, after the hell I put myself through, I'm keeping this damn thing. And dude, I had 4 of these, like 4 of these.
So no, here's what Rob wasn't aware of. That had 4 shots in it.
Yeah,
Mixed with like some juices so you wouldn't taste it.
it was.
So we get
nuts.
4 into that. Rob is having a wonderful time.
Oh, I had a blast.
Then I bought a bottle of mead and a bottle of sangria.
Yes.
And so we're chugging that down. And Rob, now thinking that he had almost no alcohol already, begins to chug the wine and the alcohol down.
Right.
No, that's not how it happened. That's not how it happened. Drake, see, what had happened was this. In my inebriated state, my ability to make intelligent decisions was removed. And the only thing I can assess here is that a long since gone, or at least I thought it was gone, version of Rob surfaced. It's the evil Rob. It's the bad Rob.
Okay.
And you know, Drake took advantage of that. And he kept feeding me drinks. So it's not really my fault.
Right.
But he's like, you should have some of this mead, and I was like, okay. And he was like, you should have some of this sangria, and I was like, okay. And then like one thing led to another, and then I was on Periscope.
And now you and
drunk
Drake
as
are
hell.
married.
Now me and Drake are married.
Conveniently, this coincided with everything going legal.
Oh,
so,
Reverse
no, so it
Rob.
gets better though. So we're getting back in the car, and Rob spends the entire car ride, and I have it on film, and maybe one day you guys will see it. Going on about basically, I go, Rob, what would you tell your sober self? And he's like, man, I gotta do Planet Hulk. It'll get so many views, but I
Dude.
gotta do it in Morgan Freeman's voice, cause that'll be amazing.
Oh, God,
it's
you're
like
talking
buttery silk.
Oh, dude. You realize what's gonna happen now? Like you're gonna
What?
have to put that online now.
So he basically
People
for
are
a
gonna
minute-
hound you until you do.
I hope so.
So Rob for a minute is going on about how he needs to turn into Morgan Freeman because it'll be so. No, that I put up a different thing from Rob. I have a 2-minute video of Rob telling himself to sound like Morgan Freeman because he'll get more views.
All right.
So we get back to the hotel. I'm sober enough. I didn't have as much to him. I'm doing a little bit better, right? I'm still tipsy, but I'm doing a little bit better. So we get back to the hotel. This is after Rob's coaching himself at being Morgan Freeman. And Rob and I earlier in the day had just discovered what a Periscope is. That's a live Twitter feed. So I get in the bed, I pop my pants off, getting ready to go to sleep. I'm reading a comic book, and Rob's just like, "Hey, everybody, I'm live right now on Twitter." And I'm like, "What?"
What the?
And I look over, and there's Rob on his iPad periscoping. Like,
Yeah, it was an adventure.
You know, I
So
think I
then
saw
there's
some of
15
that.
minutes.
I didn't,
but here's the problem with that.
Yeah.
Rob then spends 15 minutes discussing the plot holes of Harry Potter with his fans.
Dude, I watched the video the next morning. Benny's like, you need to go back and watch
I need
that.
to look at this.
And so I was like, okay. So like I watched the video and I was like, my God, I'm never drinking alcohol again.
Within like 5 minutes, his discussion of what should have happened in Harry Potter turns into how hot Harry Potter's mom is because she's so fine and she's so beautiful.
Oh, dude, she's good looking, man. She was good looking.
Nice, I guess.
Oh man, yeah. See,
See,
this is
Mero,
this,
in your defense, it was amazing.
this is not the first time this has happened. See, once upon a time, back again, going back into the stories of evil Rob.
Right.
I guess reverse Rob. That's what somebody said.
Reverse
Rob.
Rob's what we're calling him.
But back in the day, like when I was younger, I think I was like 22, 23. Me and a friend of mine became roommates, and so we said, "Here's a really good idea. Like, let's host a party." And so we had a party, and like we had 200 Jello shots. And I mean, I didn't have like 200 Jello shots. I would have died, but we had
You just
made
had
like
them.
200.
Would've
Yeah,
died.
we made
It
200
made
Jello
available.
shots. Yeah, I would have died of alcohol poisoning. Those things were strong as hell. I still remember that.
Uh-huh.
And like I decided it was a good idea to call my job. And so like I called my job, and like a friend of mine, Mike, was working that night, and I was like, "Hey man, you need me to come in? Like you need help or anything?" And it was disastrous. But
It was
yeah, yeah, that's why I don't drink alcohol anymore.
Yeah.
so that was the trip. Yeah, it was fun.
Uh-huh.
We did get to drive around for a good
It
while.
was okay. In hindsight, like it was a much needed break. Like I needed to go somewhere and just let loose and get drunk as hell. Like I needed that, and it was awesome that it happened. The only thing we didn't have were hookers, and by God, man, like it was.
We're
there
still
was-
a family-friendly show.
We're
Rob,
still
so
a
even
fa-
if we
yeah,
did have
that's
the only
hookers,
thing we didn't have.
That's true. So anyway, so we
The only
We had a
downside
good
is,
night.
and here's the problem with the trip, and this is why we actually went home a day early. First off, Rob and I booked this entire trip to Texas without discussing anything with Drake or
Yep.
checking where we were going.
No, yeah.
Secondly, we grabbed the cheapest hotel we could find, which was a hooker hotel.
Oh,
it was
really?
the kind of hotel people would go in to sleep in. Yeah.
that's exactly what it was. It was, dude. This
a
hotel.
no-tell motel.
That's exactly what it was, man. You show up there with a hooker, and you're like, "I need a room for the night," and they're like, "Room whatever."
Right, or not
that's it.
night. Maybe like I
So
pay
we're
by
in
the hour.
this room
By
with like
the
paint
hour.
peeling off the walls, a tube TV, internet that you can't get unless you're standing at the doorway.
Mm. Mm.
Oh, are you okay there? Can you make
That
it?
was
I
the
don't know.
highlight. That was the highlight of the trip. Benny got so pissed. Dude, he fires up his laptop, and he was like, "I'm connected to the internet. What the hell's going on?" He's like, "Why can't I do anything?" And so he
I
literally
was trying to
has,
play Hearthstone.
it was hilarious, man. So he literally has to move his laptop and sit it on top of the microwave, which sits on top of the fridge,
Which is
which
next
is
to
like
the door. So
right
it's
next
close
to the
sink.
door.
Right.
It was so funny. He'd have to get up, walk over to his laptop, type stuff, and then go back and get on the bed again.
What was irritating
man.
the most though is I had Hearthstone on my phone. I put my phone on the internet, so I'm playing Hearthstone and on my data plan, no problem. And the moment I would get up and pace around because I'm losing, I would pick up the signal.
Oh.
It would cancel my game, reset the app.
That's frustrating.
Oh my god, dude, it was an amazing weekend.
So yes, so that was the weekend that it was. You didn't miss much,
Right.
South, don't worry.
Yeah, unless you wanted to like go get drunk or watch Knights fight. Oh, okay. So here's the other thing. So medieval.
You realize
times.
where you ended at? You're like, watch Knights. Anyway.
So medieval times. So anyway, so while we're in there, and while medieval times is going on,
Yeah.
like the knights are fighting and stuff. Which medieval times, it was an amazing show. Like it was so cool to watch, and Benny is getting hammered. Dude. Okay, so Benny.
What color did you-
After a few drinks in, I realized that the Knights can hear me.
Yes.
So I started yelling at all of them.
Yes, he was. Dude, he
Apparently,
kept-
the cheering, like I was yelling so loud, I could go over the cheering, and I would get all of their attentions.
Yes.
So like the bad guys would come up, and I'd be like, "Get off! Go away!"
dude, he
You know,
kept like.
and then we'd have like the opposing teams, and I'd be like, "Bah!"
So here's my question. Okay, so did Patrick Dempsey, did he throw you the rose, or did he throw it to the girl next to you?
Oh no! So and this is gonna sound creepy. So they moved us down the seats because next to us sat an entire family. With us was a 10-year-old girl. They sat next to me.
Oh, brilliant.
And I guess she was enjoying me egging on the Knights because she started like trying to like talk to me. So she would be, like, I'd be like, "Boo!" She'd be like, "That one's on our team," and I'd be like, "Yeah!" So she started like egging me on with like, you know, like, "That one's evil," you know,
Right.
and stuff like that. So they throw
Nice.
a rose out there, and she's like, "They never get me roses. I come here all the time with my family, and I never get the roses."
Uh-huh.
So the black and white knight, who's our knight, comes up and he's got the rose, and I'm like, "Dude!"
I was wondering what that was. I remember like if you were raising hell, so he would throw it to you. I just saw him like throw it.
No,
in
I
your
was
all's
pointing at
direction.
the little girl next to me, like, "Give her
Okay.
the rose."
Did you give it? Did you?
Oh, he
catch it?
did. Yeah,
you
he
catch
handed it to her. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun. It
Nice.
was very entertaining.
Yeah, I've not
But
had that
anyway.
much fun of medieval times. I've got it's really fun. But I've never
When
had
we
that.
all go hang out in New York, we'll go to there's got to be medieval times down there. We'll
Yeah,
all
it's
go.
in Teaneck. It's like 20 minutes away.
Oh
We're
yeah, we'll
doing that.
definitely go there. Yes,
And we'll film it all. And everyone's welcome to join us if they
Lindner.
want to pay the astronomical amount of money to watch people sword fight and
Dude,
eat crap.
it was $80 each.
Yeah.
For
like the
royal
royalty.
swing. All that was front row.
You got to
Yeah.
get the your front row. Okay.
Yeah, that's all it was. Like it was $80, and I mean it was cool, but it was $80 each.
I don't know if it's
for,
80
like,
bucks.
front row seats.
I've gone for 45.
That's the normal seating.
I said no. That's normal seating. No, I said it was cool, but I'm not saying it was worth $80.
No.
45, I can see it being worth it because the chicken wasn't horrible, but it wasn't good either. You know.
Oh well, that's the problem. I like the chicken that they have, but
No, it's okay, but then like they had half a potato and the tomato. I actually liked the tomato soup. That was fun.
Dude,
So-
let me tell you something. Like when they sat that down, they said it was something like dragon's blood or something. Like that. I don't know what it was. They said it was, but like they
Of course
sat
they
that
did.
down. I was like, man, this ain't nothing but Campbell's tomato soup. It was good, but I
It
like,
was,
this is
it was, but they
delicious.
put some kind of seasoning in it because I ate a lot of Campbell's tomato soup and it had some seasoning.
I've had Campbell's tomato soup. I know the difference.
yeah, please don't talk to me about Campbell's tomato soup. I know the difference.
We have a fan in here who's apparently playing World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy while watching us.
Wow,
So he's just not doing anything because
Yeah.
there's no way that you can multitask them.
he's just in a vegetative state.
All right, so I think we've discussed our adventure long enough, guys. And,
Yeah, I
and
think
if you're familiar with our podcast at all, you're going to hear this 1,000 more times, along with Rob and his vape adventures in New York Comic Con. So
Oh my god.
don't worry though, guys. We're going back to New York Comic Con this year, all of us. So we'll have new Rob vape stories.
That's true.
I
I
don't
was
know
going to
about
bring
that.
all
I will
the
say this.
vaping he can possibly handle.
Well-
The first thing that happened when we landed, the first thing, Rob goes looking for his bags and he's like, "Let me check my vapes here, because if not, we got to get that taken care of right now."
Yep.
Yeah, I
Good.
did,
You learned a
didn't I?
lesson.
Well, see, I was afraid that the TSA was going to be like, you can't have this because it looks dangerous.
Yeah.
Dude, we landed. I cracked open my bag. My vape was in there, and I was like, dude, let's do this. Let's get to it.
Yeah.
We get into Drake's car. He's like, "You cool for vape? You cool for vape? Can I vape?"
Yeah. I mean, as I got some in me as soon as we got off the flight, so I was fine for the next while or so. But
Nice.
Well, and for the record, Rob vaping, like I don't know what he's done to his thing now, but it's like a mist. Like he'll, and the whole room is incense.
Oh, it was
yeah.
hilarious. It was, Benny's like, man, that smells so good. I'm like, yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Okay, let's go ahead and start the actual discussions here, guys. I think we've had our opener. Thank you for joining us for this. At this point, we're going to discuss the important stuff. So, if you look in the lower right-hand corner of the screen at the moment, you can see the first book under discussion is Carnage by Jerry Conway, Mike Perkins, and Mike Del Mundo.
Okay, I don't understand why Carnage is getting his own comic.
Yeah,
like,
this is a waste of money.
I know Carnage was like, people were like, oh wow, cool, like a good version of Carnage after Axis, but I didn't think fans were like that hyped up on Carnage.
No.
that
Here's
they
the
watched
kicker.
story.
You guys didn't read Superior Carnage, right?
No.
He killed
no,
himself.
I didn't.
It ended.
Yeah.
killed
Well, like
himself.
he did it in well, that's
He
the end. Of,
sacrificed himself.
yeah, at the end of Axis.
Right, well, yeah, it wrapped into Axis, but either way, he still killed himself. Like, he's gone.
He's died like 4 times. Okay, like he'll be back. Obviously.
I had no interest. I've never had an interest. Okay, Maximum Carnage, like if I'm going to be honest here, Maximum Carnage is the last book involving Carnage that I ever read. Like, I have no
Good.
interest in
That's,
reading anything
That's the
about
last
Carnage.
one that's worth a damn. I mean, like,
Well-
people liked Carnage USA. They liked Venom versus Carnage. Nobody liked Toxin. But, like, yeah.
Why
It's
couldn't they like Toxin?
because he's stupid. Because who cares?
Because he sounds like a villain from freaking Captain Planet.
Yeah, but he's not. He's a cop who has a Carnage's alien symbiote baby, and it's like, who gives a damn?
Yeah,
Enough with the symbiotes.
those symbiotes.
Yeah,
man, they
no,
just keep
speaking
on
of
procreating
symbiotes.
everywhere.
Speaking of symbiotes, next on our list,
Venom Space Knight.
this
All
one I'm
right.
kind of on board with because they turned Agent Venom into this like, if you see in the cover right here, this like super powered like space alien guy.
Yeah.
So, although
And
I just wish he stayed with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Why is he going by himself again?
Well, I don't even know. I mean, like, it's obviously a play on Rom the Space Knight, who
Oh yeah,
Marvel can't use because, like, there's a... Like, they can use Space Knights, but they can't use Rom, because Rom is a toy and whatever. But, so now
okay,
we got
even if,
Venom
even
the
if they
Space
could,
Knight.
why would they want? Okay, give me the last story, like that Rom the Space Knight mattered for. Like,
I mean,
give
like,
me-
there aren't any.
That's exactly it, man. Like,
The last one was when Ultron was pretending to be Rom the Space Knight when he appeared in New Avengers Annual number 1 or 2. Like, there was
are you picking Sal's nose?
You caught that? I had the mouse over the window, and I realized it was on your face, and I kind of started moving it.
What the heck?
Anyway, I guess like Venom Space Knight is like gonna be a much more off the wall space kind of book.
Yeah, because that's what we need. We need an
Yeah, right,
off-the-wall
more.
version of Rom the Space Knight that has a Venom symbiote. Because, well, who asked? See, that's my question. This is my question, Marvel. Who asked for these stories? I understand if there was like a huge fan request, like people were like, "Hey, we really, really want to see a story about the Venom symbiote if it took over like Rom the Space Knight."
Well, I don't know if it's
Like,
unless it is Flash Thompson.
I know because that design right there is Flash Thompson. The way the Guardians of the Galaxy left off with Flash Thompson, they went there, discovered that the symbiotes are intending to be actually good people, and they turned him into that. And they said, "You now have the power to save the universe." And he went back with the Guardians. And then, of course, he got wrapped into Black Vortex and all this other crap. And now it looks like he's on his own again.
Like clearly, Robbie Thompson had a big pitch for Venom, and they went with it. And not gonna buy it, and it looks weird. So moving on.
I'm gonna buy it, but I like this character right here that I just scrolled up to, that alien.
Yeah.
Who is that? Like,
that
the-
looks
the-
like that
Yeah, I
looks
don't
like Tana Nile, to be honest.
For me, it
might
looks like
not be.
Abe Sapien as a girl. Like,
I mean, well, it's. I mean, Tana Nile was purple though, but she was the chick that ratted out that what was it? That cost God, what was his name?
oh, by the way, the
The,
catch tag for this one is sometimes a hero needs a little space.
Tana Nile.
Genius.
What was her?
I'm gonna read off all of them. Okay, so
oh, good. So yeah.
Alright, so-
Anyway, moving on. I guess.
Yeah. Anyway, Tana Nile was an
Ultimate's
unimportant
number
character
one.
from the
ultimate
Anonymous.
problems need ultimate solutions.
Yeah, Ultimate's number 1. So we're gonna bring the Ultimates in. I guess the Ultimate name into the mainstream Marvel universe.
But here's the kicker: what a crappy lineup.
whoa, whoa! First of all, we got Monica Rambeau, who's awesome.
Oh
You
yeah,
got Black
okay.
Panther. You got Carol Danvers,
The two people on the far left and the far right are fine.
and
Let's get rid of the
these two-
middle. We'll just have a Black Panther Captain Marvel book.
No, I mean I'm looking at this and it looks dumb. To be honest with you guys.
I mean, for me, it looks like every superhero book team ever. Like, it doesn't look.
Okay, look, you got this guy right here, this dude right here. He's gonna be the tough as nails guy, and Captain Marvel's gonna be the one that gets him.
Okay,
you know?
no, but this,
and then we got
this
Black
lineup-
Panther, who's gonna be like, we gotta fight for politics and stuff. And this girl, isn't she the Universe girl? Like she had Captain
she's-
Universe in her.
Yeah, Monica Rambeau. See, this would make more sense
Well,
if this were like a breakout from like Guardians of the Galaxy. They were like, this is Guardians of the Universe, and like we're ripping off DC shit. Like that would make more sense.
Oh, sure.
Because you've got Galactus.
I was like, yeah, this
That's the
Galactus-
big
yeah,
thing
yeah.
is that Galactus is there. That's
Yeah.
neat, and I'm intrigued by that. Like, what? Number one, I'm happy to see Galactus is back. Number two, I
But if
don't
you-
know what
he's-
role Galactus is playing, but it seems to be an active one, which is kind of neat. Like, Galactus being proactive, or at least like active in the universe, as opposed to just being like this passive, planet-eating monster. Like, that's cool. I think that's
No,
neat.
but like, see, the coolest points of Galactus was when he was like that. Because all right, there was a really cool scene in Future Foundation when Galactus
Galactus
takes
is babysitting.
when Galactus takes Reed Richards,
Yeah.
and they take off and they talk about they're talking about Franklin, and Galactus is like, I need to talk to you about your son, and so Reed's like, okay, you know, let's see what's going on, and I can't load the Eligible Monster Twitch TV.
No, neither can I.
Yeah, it's not loading for me either, actually, other than the stream I already have rolling.
Uh-oh.
That's weird. Is Twitch.tv
It's
down?
going. They can hear us.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay. I can't. connect
They're
to
talking,
Twitch.
so I'm assuming they can hear us, unless they're just talking to themselves about the exact same topic we're on.
No, it's a Twitch problem because I can't connect to Twitch at all. But anyway, no, they were talking about Franklin Richards, and when the whole thing was all said and done, you know, they were like, the people on the planet were like, oh my god, Galactus is here, and Reed's like, hey, cool, you know, chill, we're having a conversation. People are like, okay. And
Okay, I guess.
Galactus is like, all right. He was like, you could go now, and he's like, well, aren't you coming with us? He was like, I'll be there soon. He was like, Galactus hungers, and the people were like, ah. And so that was like a really cool. Well, like I love that when he just shows up to a planet and he's just like, I'm going to consume your planet, and you know it's going to happen, you know, and it's like, well, that sucks for them, but it's just kind of funny to see it all go down, and
To see it all go down.
yeah, and I'm not really sure how I feel about like a superhero Galactus base, because that's what we're getting. We're getting a superhero
Is it?
Galactus.
Oh, no, that's
one
what we're
picture.
thinking.
I have no
Yeah.
idea what this is.
What if they're his
what
herald?
What if there is Harold?
Oh, now.
Well, no.
Oh, they're heralds.
Oh, well, now, this could be a much more interesting
Well,
story.
now, good sir, that could potentially be badass. Like if Galactus
Oh, I
makes.
suddenly love the idea. And
Well, no, because the story's not about Galactus now. The story's about them, and
it's of course about them.
if
Like, no one's relating to Galactus. Galactus is not a character that you're supposed to, like, he's not the ride-along character you're supposed to
dude,
identify.
let me tell you something. Just because a
Dude, me
character's
and
not
Galactus, we're the
relatable,
same age, man. I eat planets all the time.
dude, just because a character's not relatable doesn't mean Marvel's not going to make a story about it. You remember D-Man, like the Wolverine rip-off looking character? The
Yes,
bench
I remember
press 1200
D-Man,
pounds?
but, like,
He
at
sucked.
least D-Man was a person. D-Man had motivation. D-Man
He
could go to...
sucked. No
Yes,
one
he
cared about him.
sucks. There's all kinds of characters that suck. That's of
All right,
course-
moving on. We've got.
No. We're not moving on from this.
Oh, we're
Like,
going back up
let's
to
move on.
Galactus?
It
Okay.
doesn't matter.
no, this.
I was
Let's
like,
talk about how crappy Web Warriors is going to be.
oh, okay. Web
Warriors.
Warriors #1, defending the Spider-Verse. All right,
I
so
don't care at all. I'm the only person on the effing planet who hated Spider-Verse.
I love-
Everyone else
No, I
thought it was
hated
the
Spider-Verse.
second effing coming, and I'm like, this was really shitty. Like, this is a
Okay.
lousy effing event with really, and like, oh boy, and now it's a whole book about them. We just got a whole book about them. I hate Spider-Verse.
Here's my complaint with that. I think Spider-Verse was great for what it was. They fought against a big baddie. We've established these guys who are now going to make sure things move fine. I don't want to follow the adventures of Captain Britain Spider-Man.
No, of course
And-
not. I don't care
yeah.
about. And like Spider-Gwen is getting her own book. Spoilers for the rest of the episode, but like Spider-Gwen gets her own book in her own universe, and she's gonna be on this team. So it's like you get all the Spider-Gwen. Who cares?
Did you
know
catch
what
that they
this is?
released the Spider-Gwen hoodies?
And this is literally just. This is just Spider-Verse made dough. Here's your Spider-Verse book. Like, wow, Spider-Verse sold really great for these few months. But what if it sold great every month? Here's Spider-Verse all the time. Like, and even if you cared about Spider-Verse, you're going to undercut the whole event by being, because you know the more lunatics are going to be released from their stupid prison, and then they're going to go fight the friggin' Spider-Verse team. Like, I don't care at all about this freaking stupid book.
I would have preferred to have a Spider-Ham centric book with
I
him
did not
teaming
want
up.
to see that either.
Come on, Spider-Ham teaming up with random spider people throughout the universe.
That's what they're doing. I mean, like, if they wanted to do it, like, it's a great book that should have been like that. Batmite. DCU's Batmite is great, and it would like if Spider-Man, if Marvel wanted to do that, they should just be like, okay, well, what are they doing at Batmite? Do it with Spider-Pig.
Okay, just so you guys
Fun
know,
side note, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Spider-Gwen gets a lot of good art, but in this particular one, we're getting the broken back syndrome. She's got the no spine.
We got the
Yeah.
weird thing where we got to show the butt and the boobs at the same time. It's just physically impossible.
Physically impossible and doesn't do anything for anybody. But hey, let's remove her spine.
Yeah.
just so you guys know, Twitch is apparently down officially. So
Oh.
yeah, I guess the website crashed or whatever. But anyway, no.
So can they not watch? Is this nothing then?
But everyone who's in is in, but everyone who isn't in
Can't get in.
isn't in get in right now.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll make sure this gets uploaded and everything. But no,
Okay. You're locally recording, right?
yeah, I'm recording.
Okay.
Web Warriors. See, I don't. Here's a problem that I have with Web Warriors. I mean, I agree with Sal. The Spider Verse was. I mean, the Spider Verse was not remotely entertaining to me. I got bored.
No!
Like, I was reading through it and I was like, dude, I really like. I got.
Well, and,
Dude, I got towards the end of the story and I was like, this story is so pointless. Like,
well, and the worst part of it wasn't even like I'll let you jump back in, but like really quick. For me, whenever I was like Spider-Verse is kind of boring. Everyone's like, whoa, stop! You got to read the 12 tie-ins though.
oh,
You gotta
God.
I
spend,
did that though.
You gotta
I
spend
did.
$46 more, and then you can read all the tie-ins and get all the supplemental material. No. And B, I did. Like I read a bunch of the tie-ins. They didn't support the story. They're their own stories, and I don't care. Like,
Well,
so
I mean-
no, your argument is invalid.
see here was
Invalid. Moving on.
no, my argument's not invalid.
No, I'm
here
not
was-
saying you. I'm saying there. Like,
okay.
in
I
the
was like,
past, the people,
was
my
like-
detractors, were like,
You're like,
"Oh,
well, that's
you
kind of
guys-
harsh.
I was
You
like,
gotta
we're
spend more money
agreeing. How's
about
my
me.
argument invalid? Like, my argument is your argument. How's it invalid?
Yeah, your argument's
But,
invalid, Rob. Shut up. Moving on.
No, but here's a funny thing too. Like the tie-ins were never even really necessary. I mean, with a lot of the comics, the tie-ins are necessary because they give you like the middle ground. You don't really need them, I guess.
No,
But if you want like the full encompassing story, like Civil War is like that. Like Civil War literally just jumps from story to story. But if you
I
want to
read
know,
all those effing tie-ins because I thought they were essential. I was wrong, but like,
no, I thought they were essential. They made the story more complete. But anyway, we're not debating Civil War. So with Spider-Verse, it wasn't even necessary. Like I explicitly remember, and this like I'll remember this forever. There was one issue of Spider-Verse where they had the tie-in of everything that Spider-Woman was doing.
yep.
And then, like, in the main comic, they were like, well, she went to the Master Weaver and he gave her some scrolls. And then she sent them to Peter Parker. And that was covered in one page. And I was like,
Literally.
why does the tie-in even exist? If that's going to be the case. Like you go from one issue, from the previous issue, and Spider-Man's like, hey, we got a mission for you. You go to the next issue, and it's like, well, she went to the Master Weaver and got scrolls.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, I mean, we don't need the tie-ins now.
That's why tie-ins are bullshit because at the end of the day, the main book's gonna tell.
What was that?
There's a huge deer in my backyard.
Oh,
You're just like, at the tires don't matter.
I thought it was Tiffany, and it was a freaking deer in the window. I'm like, oh, hello. How are you gonna get out?
you thought it was Tiffany, and it turned out to be a huge deer.
So I saw
Tiffany looks like
motion.
a deer to you?
It was behind
okay.
me.
I was like, man, you're
I
saying
she
like
thought
Tiffany
she
looks
was
like
kind
a
of like walking in.
Yeah, I thought it was just I'm like, ah, that's
I was
why
like,
I was
dude, if you're
surprised.
saying
I was
Tiffany
expecting
looks like a
human and it
deer,
was
man,
actually
like-
a deer.
I'm expected to
What if
see.
it was Tiffany? She turns into a deer. No, anyway.
I guess that'd be rad. I don't know.
Well, what I'm
Deer
expecting to
girl.
see,
Yeah.
what I'm expecting to see here in a second is like a right hook come out of the corner of the screen.
She's
and
not
catch
here.
Sal
She's
and-
taking a
she's not
walk.
there? Oh, okay. I was like, man, you called your girlfriend like a deer.
Okay, let's move on to the next one because there's a lot of
Okay.
books here.
So no,
There's
no,
a lot
no,
of books.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Web Warriors, I'm on the Sal here. It's not a story that I'm particularly looking forward to.
Now, just before we move on, I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna like side either way, but I actually am looking forward to it because I'm just curious as to where they're gonna go with it.
They're not gonna go anywhere.
I have a feeling within 3 issues I'm gonna be off and just be like I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious if they're gonna be able to redeem the fun that was in the original.
Right.
I mean, I'll read it to decide whether I like it or not. I'm not going to just skip over it.
Yeah. Well, I don't
This
know.
one,
Yeah. I don't know
Our
if
next
Mike
one
Costa
bothers me.
is. I don't know if he's writing it. Like if he was.
yeah, it's Mike Costa. Yeah. This one bothers me.
Yeah.
Spider-Man
Spider-Man
2099.
2099.
Don't
Smack
care.
to the future, new costume, new attitude. What blows my mind is he was literally like, just let him go away or finally give him a real story arc. And maybe this is finally it, but he was literally just they went to Dan Slott. I read about it. They went to Dan Slott and they were like, hey, we need you to extend the Superior Spider-Man
Yeah.
run. and he just shoehorned in Spider-Man 2099.
Yep.
He got his own book, and he's done nothing with it.
Is
He's
that-
got
is
story
that-
arcs that are just free floating, and nothing's come out of anything.
Is that what they're doing? Because if I recall correctly, Miguel O'Hara died. And
Well,
This is a
Spider-Verse.
different future. They've already
Okay.
established that.
I wasn't sure
Well-
where they were going with it.
well, like you had the original 2099, then you had Time Storm, and then they were like, "That was dumb. Let's go back to the old 2099." So it's whatever you want it to be.
Either way, though, he's been around now for almost a year and a half.
Yep. Well, he
And-
was in the present, then they finally put him back in the future after Spider-Verse, and then
Yeah.
and whatever.
He had a story arc start in the present, never went anywhere. In the future, it didn't go anywhere, and now it's like, are you going to give him a story, or are we just going to keep throwing 2099 art out there?
They're
Here's
going
my
to keep throwing
problem.
2099 art out there because a futuristic society where none of the characters, they all have the same names, but none of them are the characters that you know.
Yeah.
No, nobody cares. Like,
Well, I liked the idea of the really basic bones idea of Spider-Man 2099, of this miserable world where there are no superheroes and people worshipped like Thor because he was a god. Like it was 100 years ago. There was a man who walked like the world as a god, and so people like started to create like a faux Christianity based on Thor. Like that was really a neat idea. And a world devoid of heroes, and so the only heroes you got were like you had 4 of them, and it was like Punisher 2099
Punisher,
sucked.
yeah.
You had Ghost Rider 2099 who was cool, who's like old Ghost Rider, a cool drawing. You had Doom 2099
A cool
who was
drawing.
amazing, and you had
And then
Spider-Man
Spider-Man.
2099 and
yeah,
Ravage.
but you're right.
They also they had
Huge
Ravage,
fan, like-
and you had Hulk. Ravage is the
And
only
Hulk.
unique guy that came out of it.
Yeah, and of course X-Men 2099, but that was its own thing anyway, much like X-Men today. My issue at the end of the day is I've read a lot of like Peter David being given Spider-Man 2099 again. I'm not a big fan. Like I'm surprised that the architect of the old 2099 isn't doing really awesome things with it. That's too bad. The other demerit for me, it's not the costume. This is a
Yeah,
neat
they changed
costume,
it.
but there's nothing wrong with the Spider. With the
You guys
2099.
and your costumes, man. Dude, Sal, man, you cracked me up. Like, you made a comment before where you were talking about how you hated, like, this one Spider-Man story because his eyes were drawn wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, it cracks me up. Like, dude, does it really
Spider-Man
matter?
story? No, I didn't like the art in Secret Wars #3. I liked the art for everything, but his Spider-Man looked stupid.
His eyes were drawn wrong.
Yeah.
Does it really
All
matter?
right,
I mean,
so-
that's,
Yes,
that's just
it does.
nitpicking.
None of us
it
are
doesn't.
really on board with this.
What if we drew Rob, but we gave you I don't know, like 4 arms, or we drew you with like a wrong
No,
face? Like
there's a difference between giving me extra appendages and just like making my eyes look a little bit different.
no, they weren't a little bit different. They were different eyes. It was a
For
different.
the
it was a
record,
different
I
design.
hate Todd McFarlane's art for that reason. Did you see what he did to Spider-Man? Like, what the heck?
What did you did to?
Todd McFarlane like revolutionized Spider-Man, like the
Yeah,
drawings.
no, his art was horrible. So
Oh.
his webs were cool, but the actual
webs.
face of him. But
Todd was the one who
the
started
big
drawing
eyes.
the eyes big.
yeah, he did the
like-
big eyes, and he did the webs that were like alive.
Yeah.
Like,
It's spaghetti webbing.
Yeah.
all right. So moving on, I'm going to say it right now. Our next one, I don't agree with at all, and I don't know where or how this one's even going to happen.
Dude.
The cover just makes me go, "What are you doing?" Spider-Woman #1, the pregnant edition.
Yeah.
Yes,
Parent
let's,
by day, hero by night.
let's have a superhero that abandons her child in the night
Yeah.
to go fight villains.
We had a superhero named Spider-Woman who was a parent by day and a superhero by night. Her name was Spider-Woman, and it was called Julia Carpenter.
and she sucks.
And they did
here's
that
a plus
shit
of mine.
already.
Okay, you know what? I like Jessica Drew as a character, and I'm a huge fan of the Jessica Drew character and what they have
I
done
think
with
she's
her.
cool too.
Or and even in the new run, I'm like, finally, she gets a new costume that's not pointing at her crotch. She's getting her own plots again. It's been forever,
Yep.
and now we're gonna come back with, and now she's got a baby.
Right,
First off,
with a baby.
who the heck is she even with? Because if you've been reading Spider-Woman, she's not with anyone.
Well, that's the big plot point. It's probably like either A, who's the father, or B, she doesn't have. There is no father.
Okay, let me tell you
but
something, man.
here's my problem with that though, because we're turning a character that stands really well on her own. She's one of the Shield agents that is really good. She
Right.
finally has a good costume. She's finally breaking out of the Spider Woman thing, and the first thing we're gonna do with her is be like, "Who's the baby's daddy?"
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird choice.
That's exactly what I thought. Like, if that's the plot point, Marvel has no clue the hell that will be brought onto this character from like feminists and everybody if they're just like, well, we have this like female superhero who is a female counterpart to one of the most popular male superheroes ever, and the defining attribute of her character is that she's preggers and doesn't know who the dad is.
And to top it all off, if you look at this art, they gave pregnant Spider-Woman broken back syndrome.
Yes, they did give her broken back.
They want you to know that she's pregnant, but she's still kind of hot.
You got to accentuate the pregnancy. You got to accentuate that.
I've seen pregnant women, guys. Like, I don't have one nearby, but I've seen them. They exist in the real world, and they don't walk like this.
They exist.
Well, she's posing. You know, she's a spectacular spider milf.
If they did walk like that, if they did walk like that, they'd be paralyzed. Like that doesn't.
I don't like what they've been doing with her. I think the whole thing is ridiculous. And it's just like Spider-Man 2099. It's almost like Marvel's like, do everything you can possibly do with the spider people. Yeah, we don't care what you do, just do something.
Yep, just do whatever. Just make it so that we're selling them.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is they're not going to do a very good job.
No.
I don't really want to read a story. I mean, in all honesty, and the plot may be really, really good, but here's the problem that I have. And here's what I think they're doing with this, because this directly ties into Renew Your Vows at the moment. People are like, oh my god, one more day, worst story ever. Marvel's like, okay, fine, let's retcon it. Let's give you guys Renew Your Vows. And they're saying, okay, now let's do something similar with Spider-Woman.
Yeah.
Let's give her a kid.
Right, let's invert it. Like, we took
Yeah.
away Spider-Man's kid, let's give her that kid.
Yeah.
Or a kid.
And honestly, is there going to be any interest? Let's assume this isn't a who's the father thing. It's just one of those, when the worlds came back together, she was automatically with the guy, they had a baby legitimately, everything's fine. Do we really care about a superhero who takes care of the baby during the day? Like,
No.
oh, so she has to find a daycare, but someone's breaking in down the street. Like,
I mean, like, what some would argue that's what they've been wanting Spider-Man to be for the last 10 years.
Yes,
so
that's
you think
exactly what
it's
everybody's looking for. Everybody's looking for the struggle of a single mom in the universe. Oh my god, diapers are so expensive.
That's well,
I mean-
like,
maybe my shield.
if the Marvel universe is supposed to reflect the real world and we have a diverse group of characters who are all doing different things and being different things, a single parent superhero is not the weirdest idea ever.
No, but there's a difference between.
It's not. I don't see myself being interested enough to be like, I wonder what she's gonna do with that kid. If I even read the book, like past issue 1, I'm gonna be like, what's gonna happen with this latest plot and what's going on with Shield? Oh no, now we gotta go do the baby. Skip. There we go. Back to the shit.
Yeah, I mean there's a difference between making stories that people can relate to because they tie into the real world, and making stories that are dumb. Like there are some.
That's really your opinion. That's not
No,
necessarily.
that's not my opinion. That's fact. Like that's the way it is. There's no two ways about it. I mean, there's
Okay.
You know,
All right, so let's move on to the
Next
first one. I
up,
think
Daredevil's
everyone
dark
agrees-
again.
I was gonna say Daredevil, and I think everyone agrees that this is a good-looking one. You know, I like Charles Soule's work. I can't remember from what, but I remember liking the name and character.
Charles Soule did Death of Wolverine, and
I like that.
You know,
well, see, here's the
So
other thing,
Daredevil
too.
is just Daredevil again. He's back in a normal costume. He's got what I think is Gambit with him.
That's exactly what I was
And-
going to say. It
I
looks like
don't
that.
know if it's Gambit. I know a lot of people have been. There's a lot of debate as to whether or not that's Gambit.
I just scrolled down so you guys can see it. But and the tagline for this one is "The Devil's Apprentice." So whoever this is training underneath Daredevil.
No, I think it is Gambit because remember back in the day when Gambit first popped up, what was his nickname was like the Devil or something like that because they believed he had the devil's eyes. And so I think that is Gambit. And plus, if it is, that gives Gambit the perfect home because Gambit's been just kind of there.
Yeah, it'd be
And
cool if it was Gambit.
That'd be
I'm
so
with
cool,
that.
like Gambit and Daredevil, and like
Yeah.
they're both patrolling Hell's Kitchen. I think Gambit would be a perfect fit.
No, I think it would too. And the problem is, I think with Gambit is an awesome character, but they've never given him a good spot. Like the X-Men has always been too full for him to really get a good like spotlight out of that. His solo run was meh. I mean, it was okay, but they didn't treat him like a mutant or anything. So if we're going in that direction of him being like a solo secret agent guy, this is a good place for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that in the early, I mean, when Gambit first popped up in the X-Men, he had a spot. But yeah, I agree. Like in the 2000s, it kind of dropped off. But I think it's a really good place. Now, what I think would be kind of cool is I think that Hell's Kitchen having basically 2 Daredevils would be a little crowded. So I could see him being like the Daredevil of New Orleans.
The audience is saying that it's not Gambit. Apparently, it has been confirmed by
It's not Gambit?
somebody named Tidmag. I don't know.
What? Tidman.
Tidmag. So anyway, Gambit-looking guy looks like it'll be a cool combo.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like Shadowland Daredevil again.
Yeah.
He looks really dark. It's obviously a huge departure from Mark Waid's run on Daredevil, which has been, like, some say it's the best run on Daredevil in the last 20 years.
Well, see, the problem I have is Mark Waid's run on Daredevil, the art
Gambit
doesn't
one.
reflect the stories.
I don't know
Like-
about that. I thought the art was awesome.
Well,
And
the art
really-
is awesome, but I want to go back to the old school, like Frank Miller style art of Daredevil.
Oh, well,
I
you're
want
not going
the
to get that with
yellow
Ron Garney.
Well, I know we're not going to get that with Ron Garney, but I still think that like it might be a little step closer. I
Yeah,
don't know.
Ron Garney, by the way, will do a good job. I like Garney's art. So
Yeah. No, so I think we can all agree, regardless of who the other character is, Daredevil looks like he's getting a good home finally, and I think we're all going to check it out and read it.
I don't think Mark Waid is too wussy for Daredevil, not by a long shot.
Not
Mark
at all.
Waid's-
No.
Mark
No,
Waid's an
I like Mark
amazing
Waid's
writer.
work. I do.
yeah,
he's
Wade has
really
been
good.
killing
All right.
it on Daredevil. Hopefully, it'll be a continuation of.
Yeah, no. The story's not bad. I haven't looked at like Mark Waid's Daredevil and just been like, man, this sucks. I mean, it's really good. It's
Yeah.
just I prefer the much darker.
You want
grittier
darker
art.
Daredevil? Yeah,
So
makes sense.
All right, so moving on to the next one, where I think I at least I'm going to say it ahead of time. I have no idea what they're thinking with this one because no one cares. But Howling Commandos of Shield, to fight the monsters of the world, we need we need the monsters of the night.
Yeah, you get Man Thing and Werewolf by Night and Dum Dum Dugan and
no, yeah, Dum Dum Dugan
There's a-
because
I don't know what the zombie guy is. And there's like Hulkling or it's not Hulkling. It's
No,
the guy
that's-
that's with Superior
looks
right
like
now.
Super Skrull.
is that Abomination?
No, it's the
No.
kid that's with. It's like Kid Abomination basically,
Oh.
but he's with Superior Iron Man's run.
Oh,
And then I don't know who the big guy is here. It looks like a Groot wannabe.
The big thing that's
Yeah,
running
I
at
don't
you.
know who
Yeah, I
that
don't
is
know.
either. That looks weird. I mean, maybe it's something from like where monsters dwell, but
Yeah,
like it looks. This looks dumb.
And what is this monkey? What is?
That is that looks like the monkey from the Shi'ar Empire.
And who is this girl? Looks like a vampire, maybe. I would want to say it's Dracula's bride, but she's doing the whole Deadpool thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, so moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Don't care.
We have Amazing Spider-Man 1 with Dan Slott continuing to write it, but Alex Ross doing the coloring.
Yes. Now here's my question about the Amazing
That
Spider-Man.
cover.
amazing. That cover just
Yeah.
looks amazing.
It
And
looks
the catch tag is
fantastic.
your friendly neighborhood just got bigger.
This is my question. This is the question that I have here because if you look on the cover, you also see another version of Spider-Man down there.
Where?
So-
Oh yeah.
So here's what I think.
Right
Here's
there.
what I think they're going to be doing here. Like I think this is going to be a duo. I think this is going to be Miles Morales and Peter Parker.
I don't think so.
I think
No,
so.
I don't.
hope so.
I don't think. So.
No.
I think that
But
Ross
you know
is
what this
showing
does-
you three different moments in Spider-Man's time in that.
No. I'm talking about beyond that. I mean, I'm not just looking at the cover.
Yeah, I
but
think
I
I think
think
you're right
this
about
is
them
showing-
being like a team, in as
Yeah.
much as Parker will be like Morales will call Parker and be like, "Hey, I'm fighting, Lizard," and he's like, "Oh, Lizard's tough. You're gonna have to use like an anti-serum to figure out how to like make him back to Kirk Connors."
Well, that's what I'm saying because Miles Morales is getting his own solo series,
Yeah,
and Amazing Spider-Man is Peter Parker's own solo series. I'm saying this will be like a team up kind of thing between the two of them. But no, I mean,
I think this cover is like he said, showing three different. Because I think what they're showing here is Parker's going to be the crazy playboy. He's not going to get Mary Jane back. He's
Nope.
going to girls.
yeah. That one more that's not happening.
Right. This is normal Peter Parker doing awesome, and then this is kind of like showing like, oh, and now he's going to have cars.
Yeah, he'll have cars and he'll be like
Well-
a playboy, even though his personality isn't that at all. And yeah,
see, that's okay. That's interesting to me because I thought, see, this is where this is where I'm confused. Renew Your Vows was a story that was given to us as readers because, and we'll talk about this here in a minute, Sal, because so many people hated One More Day.
yeah.
So it was Marvel saying, okay, you guys hated One More Day. Here's what it would have looked like if they stayed together.
Yeah.
And I thought that was going to be the new status quo going forward. I know that's not 616 Peter Parker,
Right.
but I thought that was going to be like the new status quo going forward. Like maybe 616 Peter Parker would die or something like that. And they'd say, okay, here's the new Peter Parker, and that would be Spider-Man, like the Spider-Man. And fans wouldn't object because they would be like, oh, yay, Spider-Man, Mary Jane wants them back together, whatever.
Right.
Peter Parker's Peter Parker. So, and they would take it.
I
And
just
they-
realized
you know,
something, guys.
Was
Oh,
that-
keep going. Just
Oh,
remind
okay.
me to say that.
And they would be down with it. And so I thought that was going to be the new standard. But I mean, I don't know if the Renew Your Vows universe is going to continue on after Secret Wars, and it probably depends on how well it sells,
Yeah.
to be quite frank. But assuming that it sells really well, I have no idea how they would continue that on in conjunction with this.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to. I think Renew
Yeah.
Your Vows is going to be all the Peter Parker Mary Jane action you're ever going to see for a long time.
You think so?
Yeah. I
Just
think that
kinda-
this is
just
going
kinda
to be
closing out that.
I think
that
this
whole
book
thing.
is literally just like it's Batman Incorporated, but it's Peter Parker. Like it's just Spider-Man. Like Parker Industries does well, and so he's like, great. It's kind of like working on its own, so I can be more effective as Spider-Man all over the place, and I'll have the money and the resources to actually like be Spider-Man everywhere.
No, I have a theory.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right.
Look at this: Parker Industries, Japanese lettering, Japanese women. He's moving to Japan.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, like
Maybe.
Building on that, I think that building on that, I also think that Parker Industries is supposed to become Alchemix at some point. I know that like Alchemix exists and Liz Allen owns it and shit, but I feel like
You're gonna be absorbed.
yeah, I think it's going to be absorbed. But
Yeah, but
like,
I'm saying right now, this looks like he's going to Japan.
Yeah.
And that would explain the car.
oh, it looks
Well,
like
no, but I mean,
oh, yeah.
I kind of agree with Sal too that it would be like a Batman Incorporated thing, and that you would have like Peter Parker, the Spider-Man, and then you would have like Spider-Men all over the world. So
Well,
I think
supposedly
he's
Bendis
gonna-
says the next book on our list is the sequel to Spider-Man. So,
oh, really?
Well, yeah, technically, Bendis has said that the new book Spider-Man will be a sequel to Spider-Man.
which is right here. Which, if you look at the clicks, the Easter eggs, Parker Industries,
Parker Industries exists. Captain Falcon,
Captain Falcon, you got
So-
Miles Morales.
yeah.
and it's Bendis and Pichelli. So it's a dream team. Bendis is going to knock this out of the park as far as consistently giving you the character he's been giving you for the last, 15 years?
And I was actually
And-
really psyched
Yeah, for the
about
record,
that.
the catch line is "Welcome to the Marvel Universe, Miles Morales. Hope you survived the experience."
Like,
Yeah.
Kitty Pride, man. But, like, but Sarah Pichelli is unmatched. Amazing artist. She has beautiful work. She
I
helped
don't know
create
about
it in the first
unmatched,
place.
but yeah,
Hmm?
I don't know. If she's
I like her
unmatched,
art,
but her and Bendis were the creative team behind Miles Morales at the
Yep.
beginning, so I'm down with that.
So,
So I mean, there's not much more to say about this. Obviously, it's going to be in the same exact universe, and they're applying that heavily with the background art, by showing it's going to be part of the whole Spider-Man thing.
Yep.
You're probably going to have to read both of them to get the full Parker Industries story, most
Yeah.
likely. But
Well, I think that the idea here is if you want to see Spider-Man fight the Lizard, then you're going to read Spider-Man with Miles Morales because that's where the like street level Spider-Man stories are going to be. But
Right.
if you want to see like the
him
new-
owning the company, crazy adventures
Yeah, if you wanna
around the
see-
world, new inventions.
if you want to see bigger time by Dan Slott, that's where you're going to go with that.
Big time Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, like he already
All right.
did Spider-Man big time, but this is Spider-Man bigger.
Yeah.
All right, so the next one I think we can all agree is just they're only making it because of the movie.
Yep,
If the
it's
movie
a
does
cash
well,
grab. It just exists.
I actually disagree.
I think it's going to be awesome. But I mean, the Guardians of the Galaxy book got awesome after the movie. But
Well,
I
no,
think
but I
this
mean,
is-
have you been reading the current, or I guess, yeah, the current run of Ant-Man?
Yeah,
For
the
the first
current
two
run
issues.
has, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. Like, it's funny. I really like it. So
Yeah,
I mean,
it
I'm
didn't
glad
go very
to see
long
it's
before they
coming
had to
back.
cancel it for Secret Wars. So
Well,
I
yeah,
think
but-
this. I mean, I think the initial run and this one is all invented because of the movie, and they're hoping it's going to be another Guardians where it's going to be so amazingly big that the comics are going to do great, and we're going to see Scott Lang pop up in a whole bunch of books, and he's going to cross over. But there's not much else to say about this. This is literally just.
Yeah,
the
but I mean,
continuation.
the fact that they canceled it for Secret Wars doesn't matter because, like, they canceled
The
Superior Iron
Foes.
Man.
Well, here's the thing.
You know, I mean,
This is basically just going to be Superior Foes of Spider-Man, starring Ant-Man,
Yeah.
which
You
is
think so?
awesome because that's a great book.
Oh, you know, I said I think this is going to be a great book. I do think it is.
It will
I'm just
also be
saying-
canceled.
It'll probably be canceled in the 6 issues. I'm predicting. Even
I
we're
think
all gonna love
11.
it.
They usually give it
Well,
a good.
because they're not promoting Ant-Man like they did at Guardians.
No.
Guardians had so much hype.
yeah, I don't think
Ant-Man's
they're
going to come
expecting it
out,
to
and
do that well.
unless it's a secret hit, this is going to be gone within 6 months. I think.
no question.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
well,
no.
I mean,
Don't get me wrong. If Ant-Man does come out and smash box office like crazy,
Yeah.
it's going to turn into the next Guardians. And you're going to see Scott Lang popping up everywhere.
Oh yeah. Oh
well,
no,
no, but
he'll be huge.
I agree
Yeah.
with you because the current issue, like I guess before they got rid of Secret Wars, like Ant-Man was not selling very well.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, issue number 1 was relatively high. It was in the top 10, but after that, it dropped down like it dropped below the top 35. So it never really did that well.
It's pretty bad.
So moving on, we now have Silk. This one, I
don't
like
care.
Silk, but I totally feel like Silk was created just for a single plot point for Original Sin, and they're just dragging her through the mud trying to find a point for her now. I
The
feel like it's
Sinister
very
Silk.
much just like Spider-Man 2099 and even Spider-Woman, where they just like, let's bring her back into main continuity. Let's create a new character. What the hell do we do with her?
Yeah.
Yeah, we get rid of her, like we cancel her character because she's not selling very well.
Yeah.
I mean,
How
Silk
is she
sucks.
selling? Is she selling at all?
I'm not very, and I can't imagine well, but I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, let me take a look real quick.
Yeah, I know that Stacey Lee's art is great.
Oh, no, I love the
I'm
art.
glad
I've
to
actually
see
been
that she's
following
getting
her.
more work. She does a beautiful Silk. She does a great. She created that wonderful supporting cast. She's such a great artist. I would love to see her on something that I want to read. Unfortunately, it's not this.
Silk number 4.
I actually liked the original Silk run. The only problem I have with the original Silk run is that since she was created as more of a one-off original Sin character, the entire run has been basically creating her background.
Yeah.
Like, it's like half of every issue has been like flashbacks explaining who she
Right.
is.
And
Yeah.
I don't care about that. Like, move on.
Right.
Like, let's get going with this.
I think she's
Yeah.
a fun character. I think the costume with Spider-Gwen is cooler, but I think Silk's character is cooler because she's a girl who has power. She's been walled up. She's trying to figure it out. I think that I like that, but I'd like to see where they go with this, and I really hope it picks up so that she doesn't get canceled in the 6 issues.
Right.
No, I mean issue number 4 sold 44,000 copies. Now compare
So
that.
it's doing okay still.
No, well, I mean it's ranked number 40 or 41 on the comics list, but compare that to like when Secret Wars. Well, see this is why it's kind of unfair. Like we can't look during the Secret Wars month because everything in Secret Wars is going to outsell everything else. So
Yep.
like let's look at April and see. Yeah, see
But
that.
while
one
you're
sold-
looking at that,
that one
her
sold
catchline is the
15,000
Sinister
copies.
Silk, and the cover looks like she's robbing a bank.
Right,
So,
I don't
know
even-
what she's doing there.
I don't care about that twist. I don't care.
Yeah.
so-
No, she's
so-
going evil.
Silk number 3 sold 60,000 copies,
Wow.
which isn't bad. But I mean, compare that to like Star Wars number 4, which sold
Oh, you
200,000.
can't compare
going
Star
further.
Wars. Star
No,
Wars.
I'm saying, like, I mean, compare that to like any number of things. Like Convergence 2 and 3 sold 111,000.
Those were revenge.
Spider Gwen number 3 sold 100,000.
Spider-Gwen's amazingly enormous series that wasn't even supposed to exist.
Okay,
Compare
fine.
it to like
Okay,
a
fine then.
Nightwing
Like,
book, or you compare it to like Grayson, or
Oh, is Grace.
okay, like Harley Quinn sold better.
Yeah,
Harley Quinn
spread
number
over.
16 sold better. Uncanny Inhumans sold better. The Walking Dead issue 140 sold better. And that
Walking
shows
Dead!
that shows
Yeah,
that
people
shows
are kind of
that
iffy
show's
on
been off
Walking
the
Dead.
air. That show's been off the air for 3 months. Like Convergence Justice League sold better. Avengers Ultron Forever.
Okay,
number
we get
1
it. It sold better, but it still sold better than the books that sold 10,000 copies.
Okay, yeah, it sold better than Saga.
All right, so the next
Really?
one.
Okay.
That's too bad.
The next one on the list here
It's
is
sold better than
Uncanny
Hell,
Avengers, which if you felt like at this point we have too much spider people, this
Now's
is
the
just,
time. I not only do I not care about. I mean, like, there's too much spider stuff, but like, I'm not impressed / interested in this team at all.
Spider-Man, Quicksilver, and 2 people I have no idea who they are.
Quicksilver's costume looks stupid.
Dude,
Oh, that's-
look at
that's-
his symbol.
It's
That's
a
voodoo, man.
fast
That's-
effing forward. That's
I like
amazing.
Quicksilver, but what is this? Like,
Just a fast forward.
He
Look
looks
how-
like an effing idiot.
In case you guys were confused about the fact
is
that I
that
run
Dr.
fast, like,
Voodoo?
yeah, that's Brother Voodoo.
And it's Dr. Voodoo
Nah.
and Rogue,
don't know
Ancient
who that
Captain
is.
America, the Human Freaking Torch, who's supposed to be on the Inhumans.
Oh, we're moving down. You're moving down. Oh, this is one cover.
one cover.
They're 2 different covers, yeah.
Oh, okay. So this side of the team looks cool. I don't mind this one.
Right, this is I would read more of this team, but like the rest of the team is I don't give a crap.
Yeah, no, Human Torch, Rogue, Deadpool, and old Captain America. Because I don't know, because you guys don't read Deadpool, but he teams up with Captain America. As a matter of fact, one Wolverine died. They have a great book where like old man Steve Rogers and Deadpool are trying to get back the remains of Wolverine.
Okay.
It's hilarious.
Well, all right. See, here's one thing that kind of bothers me too, is calling it uncanny and uncanny.
Well, if you look at this,
and-
fighting for humanity, inhumanity, mutants, and Deadpool. So,
but here's a problem that I have. Like,
who's the
Like-
Inhuman here?
Probably
Is it
the
Quicksilver?
girl you can't name.
Yeah, the girl you can't name.
I don't know. Like, here's a problem that I have. Like, ever since Claremont took over the X-Men and it was like uncanny X-Men, Marvel's always been like, let's just call teams uncanny.
Yeah.
Like uncanny everything. Like uncanny Shield and uncanny
Well, if you make it
Agents of
uncanny, then you
S.H.I.E.L.D.
know it's tethered to the X-Men universe.
God, it's but see that's the problem is. it
By the
doesn't
way,
have
they said
value
that this
anymore.
is not Quicksilver. This is VHS Man.
Yeah.
VHS man. I would believe that. I would believe that.
it's 2 technologies backwards, man.
Like that's the kind of, I mean that really is the only thing that drives me nuts, aside from the fact that the lineup doesn't seem too interesting. But
The book is called Uncanny Avengers. Somebody asked. I guess I didn't say the name of this one. It's Uncanny Avengers. This book.
Everybody's saying that the guy who looks exactly like the Human Torch is called Inferno, not the Human Torch.
Oh no! Wait, hold on. I know Inferno because I do read the Inhumans. If this is Inferno, then that's our Inhuman because that's literally what he is. He's like the
well-
new guy for the Inhumans.
Because he looks just like the Human
Oh
Torch.
no, he does. And isn't there like 4 different guys that just light themselves on fire and fly?
yeah.
Yes.
Well, here's. I mean, well, they could bring back the original Human Torch android, like John Hammond.
I was
whatever
kind of
his name
excited
is.
about there
believe
being
it's John
about that
Hammond.
might be maybe being a robot. But that might be maybe the
Toro? What about Toro? The boy.
his little boy robot. No, it
What was the name of the original Human Torch?
was called the Human Torch.
No, but he had a name.
Oh,
I just love Sal so definitively. It was the Human Torch, Rob.
What was?
All right,
his
so
name?
moving on to the next one. I'm actually really excited about this book because I feel like she's finally getting limelight. We have
Yeah.
all new Wolverine #1, X-23, and her tagline is "Best there is at what she does."
she actually makes the Wolverine costume look pretty awesome.
Yeah, she does. And I'm a huge fan of X-23, and I feel like Laura has gotten no love at all.
I agree. I think she's a great new character. I think she's super cool. By
feel
the
like
way,
the
Super
inventor,
Reviewer says it's Jim Hammond that was the original Human Torch.
Jim Hammond. That's what it is. Yeah.
I
love
feel
it.
like
I
with
think it's
her,
great.
it was like she got invented because they thought it would be cool, and
Yeah.
then once again, they just didn't know what to do with her. And I feel like
Well, yeah.
with Logan gone, she can be Wolverine, and we finally have something she can
But Logan
do.
isn't
mean-
gone. But let's get to that.
Well, no, but I mean, like she was made in a cartoon show.
Well, she was
And
made
they
in the
Was
comics
she?
first. She was just
Yeah, she was a
I
comic.
thought, I thought she was a cartoon show character first.
No, she that's where she got famous because she got invented in the comics, and one of her first big appearances
Was
was,
on a cartoon.
I think it was X-Men Evolution, wasn't it? That was
I thought it was either X-Men Evolution or Wolverine and the X-Men.
it was one of the ones she got where she kind of got a lot of traction off.
Yeah.
I don't think she was. I thought she was a comic first though. I
First
just think
appearance.
Yeah,
First
she was
appearance,
definitely-
X-Men Evolution.
Really?
In the episode X-23. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought she was.
See, I told you guys, and you guys wanted to argue.
Dude, I thought Innocence Lost was her first appearance. Like somebody invented her. So
Yeah,
basically,
well.
she's like Harley Quinn. She showed up in the cartoon.
Yeah.
Everyone thought she was cool, and they made
Her
her.
first
a
appearance was NYX #3.
Okay, there you go.
Jackass.
No, it was the episode X-23. It came out like 3 or 4 months before the comic did. Look at the
So it was
look at the
planned.
dates.
It was a planned tie together.
Yeah.
at the dates.
So she was created in the comic first because it takes several months before a comic can come out.
We're really
Whatever.
gonna play that one, Sal.
Anyway,
Fine,
moving
okay,
on.
whatever.
Uncanny X-Men #1.
Okay. We're moving down, I guess. Uncanny X-Men. Bigger threats require more threatening X-Men. The new X-Men looks like it is Phantomax, Mystique, Psylocke, Sabretooth, and I think Magneto?
Yeah, and I'm actually
Yeah, that
interested in reading
that
this.
helmet really leaves a lot to the imagination. I don't know what that helmet's gonna be.
I don't know who it could be.
It's this onslaught. Onslaught's leading the X-Men. I'm actually interested to see where this goes. To be honest,
It looks like a real X-Men book.
I mean,
Yeah, no,
Red
I'm
Lamb's
kinda
doing the artwork, so I'm pretty
I have a
excited.
weird feeling I'm going to lose interest by issue 6, but I am curious to see what they're going to do with it.
So you
Like-
can't go into it with a negative attitude, man. You got to go into it with a positive attitude.
Okay, you realize that my new series on my channel, we read all the books. I can go into things with negative attitudes and have to read them anyway.
Yeah, so do we.
I was like, Sal does off the rack. We both. You're the only one who doesn't read every comic that comes out.
Yeah, well,
Here's my stack of what's left, dude. Like before tomorrow, I got to get through this.
Oh,
hold on. Show me that stack again.
Well, it's got a bunch of DC.
Robin.
Oh
Yeah, it's got-
oh,
we
by
are
the way,
Robin.
you left. Apparently, I took your Valiant comic.
Yeah, you told me that,
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
but they never got back to me, so we won't be doing that probably. So.
Oh, okay, cool. That's fine.
All right, so next up on the list, we have all new X-Men on a mission to make their own future.
Don't care.
But it's got X-23 in it.
I don't know.
That's
See,
weird.
I'm actually.
No, okay, look. I like this. I did like all new X-Men, and now we have proper Cyclops. So I'm curious. I really am curious to see what's gonna happen. I'm curious.
I feel like what Marvel's going to try to do here is they're effectively going to be rebooting the X-Men franchise, like the entire X-Men series. Because like this, that even looks like Darwin. So this is like old school X-Men.
Well, here's what's
It's
weird about it.
Iceman, but it looks like it would be Darwin or something.
Well, no. Well, here's what's weird about it. What they're showing you is the current lineup, which is Beast, Cyclops, Angel, Iceman, and X-23, and then just showing them on a road trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which it kind of begs the question: where's Jean Grey in all of this?
Where did she go at the end of the last? Well, she left. I know that. I just don't remember where she went. She left with Kitty Pryde. That's why they're not on the team anymore.
Oh,
And it's weird that
because,
Cyclops
probably
is
because she's
stuck
on
with them.
probably because she's on the Extraordinary X-Men team.
Oh, moving on to the Extraordinary X-Men team.
Oh, there you go.
Still hated, still feared, still standing. We have the Extraordinary X-Men written by Jeff Lemire, so I'm kind of excited about that one.
Yeah, he's good.
But
so
this is your older X-Men. We have Nightcrawler, we have Iceman, we have Storm. What's this guy?
that's That's Logan, man.
Yeah,
that's
that's old man
No,
Logan.
Logan.
this is Logan. This is Logan. Up here at the
that's
top.
Colossus.
Oh, it's probably Colossus.
yeah.
Well,
And see,
okay, that
okay,
makes
and
sense.
see,
That's
if I-
got Jean right next to him, and then we have Jean Grey, Old Man Logan, and then, like I said, Nightcrawler down here. So.
And see, if I remember correctly, that's the roster of the X-Men from the last issue of Old Man Logan. Like when they
Oh,
appear.
it is. It is.
Yeah.
You're right. They're going to be the X-Men that come back with him.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so
cool.
that's what. Yeah, that'll be pretty interesting. But I don't remember
But the
Jean Grey
question
being
is,
there.
is
so-
this the Jean Grey from that universe or the all-new X-Men universe?
See, that's my question. It looks like the
She's
all.
not
She
here.
looks
It looks like
young.
all new X-Men. Jean.
Yeah, she looks young. So it
She
looks
looks
like
younger
this.
than the one that's in that other story.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We also have Old Man Logan.
Man, okay. Anybody who didn't see this coming as
Right?
a series after Secret Wars.
Here's the kicker. Here's what's interesting. Old Man Logan, burned, dead, whatever. Right? Here's his original universe.
Yeah.
Here's Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that way they're showing you where he is now. Like he is
But
in this universe.
I will say this. I would love to see some interactions between Miles Morales and Old Man Logan.
Oh my god.
That'd be so cool.
I don't even know what they would do. I have no idea, and that actually excites me a lot. I'm like,
Yeah.
cool. I can't even predict what that would be like.
Yeah, I think it's
For everyone
gonna
who
be-
was like Wolverine's gonna stay dead, he obviously didn't. They just brought back a different version of him. That's all it is.
And I'm actually not upset about that because I
No,
would
I'm
much rather
excited.
see Old Man Logan than the crappy one that we got by the time the series ended.
Well, because that was the
So-
problem. They had done so much stuff to Wolverine, and he had been in so many crossovers that you had nowhere else you could go with him. Old
Yeah.
Man Logan has this dystopia past to deal with. We're back to, just like evil kind of Logan, but he's a good guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he's a badass. He's just
Yeah.
gets to be badass again.
Yeah, and what I'm hoping is they don't screw up this version of Wolverine.
Oh my god. Yeah. That'd be so
right.
disappointing.
Moving on, we now have one that I'm excited about.
I think a lot of people might be excited about
Yes.
this, depending on who that
Nova!
older Nova is.
That's what I was thinking.
Dude,
man.
it's just family business. That's his father.
Okay, that was okay.
But
Uh,
are they going to retcon in that maybe Richard Rider's his dad?
That's what I was hoping because they've never revealed the father of Sam Alexander.
Yes, they have. In the very first one is Jesse Alexander.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, they did, didn't they?
But nobody
Well,
liked that, so maybe they can make Richard Rider.
That's right. Well, whatever. Maybe.
Maybe he'll be Sam Ryder now.
Whatever that is, I'm happy about that because I like Nova, but they do hammer it home a lot that he's a kid and doesn't know what he's doing.
They're
Maybe-
very-
Giving him
maybe
a
what they'll
proper
do-
mentor finally is probably a good idea.
Maybe what they'll do is they'll be like, it'll be like Richard Rider from a different reality, and he was like, "I lost my son," and
You
Sam
are
will
so
be,
hope.
Sam will be like, Sam will be like, "I lost my father," and they'll be like, "Let's be father and son." No, I'm saying like
You're
maybe he
so
dies or
hoping
something.
that right there is Richard Rider.
I really hope it's Richard Rider. Like,
I will say this: there is a shot because I've read Nova, and have you been reading it, Sal?
Have I been reading Nova? No.
Okay, well, if you have been reading Nova, there is a difference here. This helmet is the Black Ops Nova's. That's his father's helmet.
Oh,
This guy above him is wearing a normal
Old
Nova
school-
helmet.
Yeah, that's a Nova Corps helmet.
That's the
probably.
Right,
Centurion
so
helmet,
this could be somebody else and not his father.
I mean, like, look at just the starburst on his chest. Like, he looks like Richard Rider Nova.
That's what I mean. Like,
But-
it could be Richard Rider in some weird way. And since since they're smashing all the universes together, they could just say
by
Richard
the
Rider's
way-
the uncle.
It doesn't necessarily have to even be his father. It says
Right.
this is the family business, like, and we all assume it's his dad. Maybe it's the family business in as much as he's part of the Nova family.
Right.
Yeah,
Or
the Nova
maybe
Corps.
Jesse Alexander doesn't come back. He goes back to Earth or whatever, and Richard Rider somehow gets brought back to life, and he's like, "Hey, I'm going to teach you, Sam.
Yeah.
We're the
Or
last two Novas."
It may not even be Richard Rider from 616 because remember with Infinity Gauntlet, like there was like the Nova Corps that was supposedly wiped out, and the girl's mom came back. So I don't.
Right.
And honestly, this would be the way for them to shut up all the fans because Sam Alexander's doing amazing, and they want him to do better.
Yeah.
I
But
love
everyone's
Sam
saying we want
Alexander.
Richard Rider back, huh?
Yeah.
I love Sam Alexander. No, here. Okay,
I mean,
here's-
I love him too,
here's-
but
here's
the thing is,
problem.
a lot of fans are like, "We want Richard Rider back. We want
No,
Richard
it's the old school fans that want Richard Rider back.
Yeah.
Like,
Bro,
the-
but what I'm saying is this is going to shut them up and keep Sam around so that they're not just cycling
And-
Novas.
And we had this conversation when we were in Dallas, man. We were talking about Richard Rider. Richard Rider was a cool character for his day, like back then. But if they brought Richard Rider back now, there wouldn't be a reason to.
Not
It
really.
would- I mean, I'd love to see
Well,
him come
they
back.
even showed
because
that
I
in
love Richard Rider.
issue 9 or 10 of Nova, the current run, in which Sam was like, "Why can't I be an Avenger?" You're like, and what they show is Richard Rider never went with the Avengers. He was
No.
always like
Yeah.
the small potatoes. He was with the New Warriors and all, and like they showed that Richard Rider was not that big of a deal. Like,
Yeah.
but he was to who he went with.
Well, and he was a big deal in Annihilation, and
Yeah.
he was a cosmic big deal.
I mean, he had a cool. Okay, I liked his solo series after Annihilation when the Nova Corps got wiped out.
Yeah.
Like that was cool, and
Yeah,
I
he was
loved
awesome.
seeing. Yeah, I loved seeing that. But in terms, I mean, the problem is if you're going to have a character like Richard Rider, who historically does best when he's not with a team. I mean, when he was with the New Warriors, like he took he bailed on them, took off for space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Noble Corps was like, you got to come
But
with
wouldn't
us
you-
because stuff's popping off.
On the new war, Speedball.
Yeah, I
Wouldn't
mean, I
you
would.
ditch the new Warriors? Oh no, Namorita's having a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I would. Like, I mean, they
Right?
like, that group sucked. But no, the fact remains
Namorita's
that,
problem is that it was her time of the month and she just doesn't know what to do on land.
oh god,
I thought her problem was that Nitro freaking killed her.
Oh yeah, that's
Nitro,
it.
Nitro did kill her. What a way to get rid of a stupid character.
What a great way to get rid of a team of crappy
Yeah,
characters.
like here's all these crappy characters except for one guy. Like, you know how we can get rid of them? Like, well, how's that? Like, let's just blow them up.
Yeah. And Joe Quesada, by the way, had a huge problem with Speedball, like hated Speedball. So he
Really?
was more than happy to make the only survivor be Speedball with
I
a
figured-
shattered spine that makes him independent.
I figure like
Yeah,
when you're
I'll-
editor in chief. I figure when you're editor in
I'm
chief
a
of Marvel
Dio
Comics.
says. Okay, guys, I'm going to space.
Yeah. Exactly. Fair
Oh.
enough. Can't argue with
I
you.
mean, I think when you're editor in chief of Marvel, the last thing on your mind is like the New Warriors.
What am I going to do with the New Warriors? Yeah.
What am I going to do with one of the lowest selling comics ever? Like,
Cancel it.
yeah.
All right, so moving on. I don't know about this one. I know a lot of people loved the last run, so maybe this is something cool.
Yeah.
And Jeff Lemire's writing it, so I'm a little excited about that.
He's
But
written like 3
Hawkeye,
books now.
yeah, he is. Hawkeye #1. Wasn't Jeff Lemire on DC and like they picked him up, moving over here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Here's the cool thing though: Hawkeye versus Hawkeye. So you got Kate Bishop Hawkeye, and you got Hawkeye.
When are they just going to give Kate Bishop the freaking book?
I think they might do that here. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised seeing Clint Barton go away. And here's the reason why.
It's that old man Logan Hawkeye.
He looks like old man Hawkeye.
Like here's the reason why. That reason right there, the fact right there, that it's not Clint. If that was Clint Barton from like that looked like the Marvel Cinematic Universe version of Clint Barton, I'd say he's here to stay.
Right.
But
But he's
an
old.
old version of Clint Barton that casual like that not even people don't even read Marvel comics. If you didn't read the last one, people are just kind of like, well, who's that guy? That right there is why I think they're going to get rid of him and they're going to replace him with Kate Bishop. I could be wrong,
Yeah.
but I think that's what's going to happen. And
For the
high
record,
time
I'm
that
not
happened,
wrong.
too.
He has been writing Green Arrow, so they picked him up off of Green Arrow, Jeff Lemire.
Good.
And moved him to
Wow.
Hawkeye.
What a step up!
Yeah.
Green Arrow's awesome. You guys are stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was awesome. And then
that'll
they
that'll
turned
just
it
be
into
your
the
little
show.
secret.
That'll be my little secret.
That'll be your little secret.
So, all right, looking at Karnak, I don't give a crap. But it's written by
Oh.
Warren Ellis, so it could be amazing.
Yeah, I was like
Okay,
Warren Ellis
no.
and Karnak, the
Let me-
flaw in all things.
Warren Ellis writes really good
I don't care.
stuff.
Yeah, he
I
writes
don't
amazing
care, but
stuff.
it's awesome.
I'm not
This-
going to read this until the
Yeah.
first trade comes out, and then I'll try it probably.
This will not be one of those things that turns out to be really good. I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean,
Who is Karnak?
yeah, Karnak is one of the Inhuman royal family. In what universe?
Rob, explain Karnak for me. I know you'll get like 4 views on it, but can you?
I'm not
Do an
gonna
episode.
Karnak. In what universe would anyone believe that Karnak needs to have a solo series? That's
I
my
don't know.
question. I mean, the only reason they're doing this is because of the Inhumans in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but no one. I'm not. No, I'm with Benny. I probably won't even buy the trade, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not.
Well, I will just because I have to read them all, but
Yeah.
Warren Ellis did fix Moon Knight, so I will give him.
yes, I mean, like he did a great job with Moon Knight, and then it went away again.
6
that's
issues.
what
We
I'm
only got
saying,
6 issues of Amazing Moon Knight.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, Warren Ellis writes good stories, but there are some characters that I give so little of a damn about that
Yeah.
I'm not even going to worry about it, and that's one of them. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
Now-
care about Karnak.
If you were worried about Clint Barton Hawkeye, worry no more
Look no further.
than the new Avengers #1.
Yes. You get all the
Oh,
Clint Barton
oh,
you can
okay.
handle.
Yeah, no. So here's the weird part: we have Old Man Hawkeye, and like, now is it the same Hawkeye, and he just shaves by day?
I don't
Roast-
think so.
Not only do we get Hawkeye, we get anime characters to go along with him.
Yeah.
We get
Avengers
Super,
idea
we get
mechanics.
Super
We
Saiyan
need AIM
Hulk.
to help. No, but you have Amadeus Cho. You got Amadeus Cho right here with AIM and his company. We
Yeah.
have I don't know who these two are. The girls.
No.
Is that the Runaways girl? She's on the cover of the Runaways.
I think the girl on the left was a member of the Thunderbolts. I think that's Moonstone.
I'm hoping you guys in the chat can help us with this one because I don't
Yeah.
recognize anybody here, but maybe Hulkling.
Well, it's Hulkling and Wiccan, but Wiccan's
That's
all like
Wiccan?
pimped out.
Okay, then that's why I don't recognize him. I don't even know Wiccan that much. So
Yeah.
okay, Sunspot, not Show. Okay, so that's Sunspot. Sorry, my bad.
Oh,
Pixie and
that's right.
Squirrel Girl.
Sunspot does run the.
Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl. There you go.
Okay, I didn't like the art on the current Squirrel Girl, but that one looks cool. I like that one.
Yeah, the art on the current Squirrel Girl, where she's like kind of chubby.
Yeah.
and it looks dumb. Like it's like, look,
Well,
I get what it
it's
is, and I get that the artist drew Squirrel Girl to look like her, but
Yeah, she did.
I already find it very hard to believe that Squirrel Girl exists in this universe and think she's a big deal. Add like a couple extra pounds to her and make her look like a cosplayer girl. Like I probably just got a
well,
lot.
I mean,
whole
not
bunch
to
of
mention,
you know what I mean?
not to mention,
Black-
she has like,
Songbird. It's Songbird.
oh, okay, like she's a
Who the
mutant.
heck is that?
She's
I
a
want to do
mutant
Songbird origins just so I know who the fuck has done this book.
songbird. That sounds so familiar.
Yeah,
I feel like I should know who that is, but I don't care enough to
you
find
should. She's cool.
All right,
Um,
moving on. Illuminati #1.
Don't care about that.
I
right, moving
care.
on.
I actually care. I actually care.
Here's what I'm curious about. Is it a continuation of our current one? Because we do have what appears to be Iron Man. Like you can't really tell who's here. Iron Man, Hank Pym. I'm assuming that's Hank Pym. Hulk, Medusa. I don't know who this is
Nope.
on the far right, but
Yeah,
they're in
it's-
chains. If you look at this,
Mm,
I really hope it is.
yeah.
I mean,
And
I
then-
thought the
is this
Illuminati.
Pandora from the DC universe up here?
I thought the DC Universe character, or not the DC Universe characters, hell, the Illuminati from New Avengers Volume 1. Like, I thought that was a really cool concept. And I really loved that idea. Like the behind the scenes, we've been pulling the strings, trying to do the right thing, but usually screwing up in the process
Yeah.
was a cool thing. The problem is they then turned around and made the Illuminati like superheroes, and they kind of disbanded it, and then it got really dumb. You know,
Yeah.
and then they were like, well, the Illuminati aren't really the New Avengers anymore. The New Avengers are like the New Avengers now. And it was like,
Uh-huh.
okay, this is dumb. And
Yeah.
But I like the idea of having some group that's controlling everything behind the scenes.
But is that the situation, or is this the
That's-
Illuminati being punished for everything finally?
That's
Because
what
you got to
I'm
think about this: the Illuminati is a great book, but in the end, if once Secret Wars is over, they're going to get no ramifications for what they've done for the last 3 years. Like,
Yeah. But here, I mean, the other thing here is that they're called, the thing's called Forever Evil. So whoever they are, they're
I
bad
didn't
guys.
take that from another
Yeah.
book.
Oh, yeah. Not at all.
No.
I mean,
All
I'm,
right.
I'm surprised Batman Beyond's not on there anyway.
Yeah, it's weird.
All right, so moving on. This one I'm actually curious about. Sam Wilson, Captain America. Now,
love
here's what I
this.
find interesting about it. They've been going on and on and on. He's Captain America. She's the Thor. You know, what's it like? And those are the two biggest ones. But they've been X-23 is Wolverine. They're titles, not characters.
Yeah.
Why, if that's the case, why are they backpedaling and now saying Sam Wilson, Captain America?
Well, see, here's the thing. Like, it looks like there's a rift between the two of them.
Yeah.
Like they're fighting, and it asks a question. You know, who do you stand with? So
Oh God. More.
So is it going to be like he's going back as Captain America, but so is he? So we have.
yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think Steve Rogers is not going to be Captain America anytime soon. I think
I
it's
don't
just
know. However, it is that they spin it.
they're having
agree, and that's
it's an
how I think
ideological
this-
problem, and then they're going to have to deal with that. It'll be a main theme of the book.
I think that this has been fixed this way, and I don't think he's going to get young again just for the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
Because Chris Evans is like blatantly obviously wants to be done after Civil War. So
Yep.
I think this is their fix for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
While the timelines don't have to coincide, they still want you to be able to go watch a movie and buy a book and know what's going on.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I mean, if they come out with Captain America: Civil War, and at the end of the film or whatever it is, Sam Wilson's like, "I'm the new Captain America," and then you walk into a comic store and you see this cover, like
Yeah.
people are going to be like, "Oh, okay, well then
Yeah,
I'll buy this."
they're gonna
'cause
get
it makes
that.
sense.
well, and that's just it. Like, and that's how we know if this is going to be permanent. If he turns back into Steve Rogers, like normal Steve Rogers, by that movie, then we know it was a publicity stunt.
Yep.
If he stays old throughout the whole thing, then we know it's going to be Sam Wilson by the end.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, same thing with the Thor thing. You know, if she stays Thor all the way to the end of the next movie, yeah, then that's
So,
not.
but see, I don't see old Steve Rogers going away, and here's why: because there's no old Nick Fury in the Marvel universe now.
Yeah.
Like they got rid of Nick Fury, they stuck him on the moon. God only knows what happened to him.
They
So he's
ended
gone
that.
now.
He's not going to come back.
Yeah, I figure he's never going to come back again, but I don't know.
well,
I
no,
mean,
because now I think with the Secret Wars, we're just going to leave him as a forgotten relic of the old era.
We'll make
Yeah.
him. We'll make him Sam Jackson from Ultimates.
well, I mean, Samuel Jackson didn't survive, as far as we know.
Yeah, maybe.
If they want, okay, I'm sure they could retcon it if they wanted him to live. Like, well, Doctor Doom grabbed him because the universe needs a Nick Fury. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, what is this like? Pirates
Or
of the
Nick
Caribbean?
Fury
like,
is just so smart and awesome that he was like, "Nah, I had a thing."
the
I
ship
don't
must
think-
have a captain. I feel like I'm watching Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, we don't. if we need a Nick Fury,
Yep.
then in truth, Steve Rogers is the perfect person to play Nick
Yes.
Fury.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, and that's
But-
kind of what they've done with him. They've turned him into Nick Fury for the most part.
Yeah.
You know,
Because I mean, like, if you
he
look at,
controls Shield for the most part. He's not really in charge. I think there's someone else a little over him. But he's in like what Nick Fury's role was originally before he became basically the man on the wall. You know?
Yeah.
Well, not only that, like if you look at how Steve Rogers was written by Hickman in New Avengers, in terms of how he was interacting, chasing after the Illuminati and all that kind of stuff, if you were to take him and replace him with Nick Fury by the time Nick Fury was killed off, you wouldn't know the difference.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
Like they're the exact same. So it makes perfect sense to me that you would have Steve Rogers just become the new Nick Fury, but I don't know. I think what you'll see.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. So I thought you were going to go ahead.
I think what you'll see is like a conflict. I think you're going to have like it's going to be Civil War esque, but not really Civil War in the sense that after with New Avengers and everything that's going on, that Nick Fury Steve Rogers is going to have this more like authoritative governmental stance, and Sam Wilson's going to be like, no, we need more freedom, and that's kind of what their rift is going to be. I could be wrong,
Yeah.
but I can see that splitting them down the middle.
I hear you.
Okay, so the next one on the list,
breeze through a couple of these because a couple of these we don't really have much to say about Star-Lord.
Well, I have a lot to say about Star-Lord because I'm a huge Star-Lord fan. So thanks, jackasses. Talk about all your stuff. Someone go ahead and call me out on language like you're all Captain America.
I know.
You talk forever about your books. We get to one that I care about, and you're like, can we just breeze through that, Benny?
I'm surprised anyone gave a crap about Star-Lord.
Okay, so I like Peter Quill. I like Star-Lord, and what I find to be interesting about this is he's in that suit. If you know the history of Star-Lord, he actually started by trying to fake getting into space,
right.
His original origins. I think this is going to be more of an origin story. Like, we're going to start back at his beginning. Because he also feels like the first time, feels like the very first time.
Right.
See? I think this is going to start with the origins of Peter Quill.
Okay.
I think that'd be an awesome idea. I'd read the hell out of that book.
Well, because it exists, but it's so old at this point. It's in black and white. Like, no one knows it.
Oh no! Like the original Star-Lord, forget it.
Yeah,
and I can guarantee you if that's what they do, and they give us like the origin story of Star-Lord, it's gonna be the origin story from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's totally gonna match up.
Yeah, totally.
And they'll get rid of Jason of Spartax and make it something else.
Yeah,
they're
going to
Adam
retcon
Warlock.
the whole thing so that he's more related to like Adam Warlock or something now.
Dude, everybody knows.
Well, and for the record, if you've been following Star-Lord, the Jason of Spartax, his father deal, they've played that out so many times at this point. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, everybody knows
Amadeus
that
the
Adam
Emperor.
Warlock
Now
is
they
the
made
dad
him
of-
Emperor, so I don't
Yeah.
know.
Whatever.
But okay, so moving on quickly so we can keep moving. The new Guardians of the Galaxy lineup. So we got a weird-looking Groot, and I don't know if that's a change to him or just a new art style.
Right.
Yeah.
There's Venom with the same thing. We have a female Star-Lord, which is odd. No
Yes.
Gamora, and that's not Gamora because she's got blonde hair and pale skin.
Yeah.
Drax, Rocket, and Thing.
And the Thing.
Yeah.
And the raccoon's in charge.
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
So my only real question about this new lineup is where's Gamora?
Yeah.
And who is that? Because Peter's not there.
I'm hopeful that Gamora will appear in a book that's coming up.
Yeah.
But if she isn't, that's a damn offense because Gamora's a great character,
She
an
is.
amazing member of the team, essential to the team. Bullshit, she's not in it.
Someone just said it, and I don't know why I didn't think about that. That's everyone's theory. Kitty Pryde. That's
Yeah.
Kitty Star-Lord.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
You think so? Kitty Pryde Star-Lord?
Well, because
I can see that.
when they last left off with Guardian, she's with them in space.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm
So
just
I
saying,
can see
like,
Peter being held up with something, and she's kind of like on the team now.
Yep.
well, I mean, if Peter's also getting his own solo story, they could just say like he's walking away from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Right, well, he's busy doing something.
Yeah.
He's just gone. Or maybe they're gonna go rescue him. I mean,
Well, I mean, it says
the whole
Raccoon's in
entire
charge, so-
Groot comic series is all about rescuing Rocket. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
and
it
this
says
is a
like
Bendis story. This could be 40 issues for the one arc.
No.
yeah,
It's,
okay.
yeah.
But it
and
says
it'll
that-
take 6 years to finish.
it says
Right.
Rocket Raccoon's running the whole show. So
I love it.
I mean,
All right, so moving
Star Wars
on.
number 1, I don't give a crap about moving on.
Yeah, but I know Rob loves her, but what's with that art, Rob? What do you think of that?
I'm not the biggest fan of Scarlet Witch. She's a crazy bitch that worked reality.
I thought you were a huge fan of her.
She's
I don't
alright,
like her
but
new look. Her new looks like she's a gypsy, like she's gonna
I
read my
was-
fortune.
I was a fan of Scarlet Witch when she during like the whole Doctor Doom thing, all that kind of cool stuff, like the House Room, all that kind of stuff, because it gave her a purpose. Like once that was done, she had no purpose. Like everybody hated her, and the Vision was like, "We're divorced," and so on and so forth, and that was it. And honestly, I don't know what you could do with the solo series.
This
about
cover
Scarlet Witch.
does not make me want to buy it at all.
No.
Yeah,
I
it looks
I'm not a
like
huge
an
fan of
old.
Red myself.
It looks like an
Her
old
attack
Russian
line's not even
Romanov.
good.
Yeah.
Seeing red.
Seeing
Like,
red.
what does that tell me?
What does that mean?
All
It
right,
means
so
that she's
moving
a-
on.
you know.
The next one, I am so happy this is continuing because I am a huge fan of this series. Miss
Kamala
Marvel
Khan.
number 1 is
Looks
getting
fun.
rebooted again
Yes.
with the same writer. Willow Wilson is staying on it, and she's done an amazing job with this
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
So I mean, I love this. Her catch sign. crushed it. If you're a Miss Marvel fan, that sold me right there.
Yeah.
And see, here was the thing that I love the most. Like here's what I love the most about Kamala Khan. One, she was coming into her own, which is a cool thing. But two was her origin story. Like
Yeah.
her origin story, she's like, I've always wanted to be a superhero. And while all this is happening, like the Terrigen Mists are like flooding into her neighborhood.
Right.
And then she's an Inhuman that develops powers. And I
Yep.
loved the idea of her like it's really cool watching her character because you literally see her grow into her own.
Yeah.
And you see like her grow as a person as the story's being written. And that's what I love so much about it, because with a lot of comics now, like people develop powers, bam, they're right into the thick of things.
Yeah.
And they're fighting villains, and there's no real like you get character development, but it's just like, here's a character, they've got powers, here's the belief system, take it or leave it.
Right.
And that's it, you know. And it's
Yeah.
it's like, okay.
So
Now here's the cool part about this, and I know I've been reading it as it comes out, and I'm pretty sure you have too, Rob. You've been reading the monthlies on it or whatever.
what?
You talking about
Miss Marvel.
Oh yeah.
And what I find to be cool, this cover is obviously implying that she's going to get on the Avengers based upon this, and everyone's saying congratulations. But I also feel like this cover has like a dual purpose. Like it's also like, congratulations, a brand new character that has been made that is getting picked up again.
Yeah.
Like, we did it! Screw you all!
I'm actually surprised to see that like Miss Marvel isn't on here. Like, well, I guess Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, isn't on here.
On this cover, you mean like?
Yeah. Well, it's. I mean, I'd hope to see Captain Marvel come back again in some form or fashion involved with Kamala Khan.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, we're going to see what happens after the next issue, so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They left it on a cliffhanger where they finally met.
Oh, see, I haven't got the next issue yet.
Oh, okay. All right, moving on. I know Sal loves this one. Spider-Gwen #1.
More the same, just keeps going.
The Secret History of Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker, which, funny enough, was already revealed in her
In the
Edge of
first
Spider.
appearance. So
I like this universe. I like this story. I don't know how much farther they can possibly go with this, though.
I mean, we'll see. Like Robert Rodriguez's art is beautiful. Jason Latour knows the character and really sells it. And they're a good compliment to each other. I think they'll make a good book.
The only problem I have with this is apparently they, from interview-wise and what we've read, they had 2 story arcs written up, which kind of makes me feel like, did they have enough to really run with, or were they just kind of like, I can't believe we got picked up again. What do we do?
This is the primary plan. Marvel said, "Come up with a backup plan in case we decide to fold her into the real universe."
I don't
Like,
know.
it was
I think the issue was like we don't know what to do with her character.
Well, they don't,
That's-
because and Dan Slott even said this. She was literally made as a one-off character, and the costume design got so popular they were like, we have to do something with her.
Yeah.
Really? See, I didn't know Dan.
Dan Slott
that.
said like he had his own idea for Spider-Gwen, and she was supposed to make like 2 appearances in the book, and that was it. Like she was never coming back.
Yeah.
But the costume design was so cool they decided to give her a one-shot
Hold on.
Edge of Spider-Verse issue.
So let me see if I understand this. Spider-Gwen is continuing on as a series because her costume is cool.
Yes, that's
The
entirely why I
costume-
moved on.
No,
See,
she
that
got a series
sucks.
because her costume was cool.
Right? No, she wasn't even gonna get her Edge of Spider-Verse issue, except that the costume was cool. So they made her a single issue, which then did so well that she got a continuing series.
See, I
No,
thought they
Latour
were-
and Rodriguez earned the series by making a killer issue.
Right.
Okay, I thought they were saying the reason they believed the series was doing so well was because her costume looked.
Oh,
good.
no,
I was
no.
like,
Oh,
I was
no,
like,
no.
are they
It
that out of touch
continues.
with their fan base?
Although if you look right now, they officially have released this hoodie as a hoodie. It's
have
available.
they really?
Cool.
Wow, that's pretty
I'll
cool.
just-
And it comes with the mask if you want to wear
Well,
it.
that'll be at like the conventions everywhere now.
Yeah.
All right, moving on, because I know we're way over time than we usually do
I
right
don't
now.
care about Drax.
Yeah, I don't. I
have
mean,
nothing
Drax
to say
is
about
cool,
it.
but all this is going to be is Drax fighting everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
That's
care.
it. Angela, I even cared about her since she came over.
It's gonna be. It looks awesome. It's by Marguerite Bennett, who is doing the current Secret Wars book. The art looks great. This is where I
Really?
hope Gamora appears.
Yeah, no, I can
Really?
see that. I mean, and because every time that they've teamed up with Gamora, it's always been kind of funny.
It's always awesome and fun,
Yeah,
and
so-
I love those two working together.
I feel like the Angela thing was like the big, oh my god, this is what we got out of Original Sin, and it was like,
well, it's
what?
so weird that they like.
And they've
didn't
done
do-
nothing with it.
They never did anything with it. They never actually tried with anything.
No,
But
they're
this
like,
is-
it's Thor's sister, but she'll never do anything with them.
Yeah,
oh, she's
no.
in the Guardians for one issue.
You know, 1602 Angela is great, and it looks great, and it like is fun and cool. If this is even close to that, which it will be, it'll be awesome.
Right.
And there's always the hope that maybe Neil Gaiman will stop in and write a couple of issues.
Yeah.
Hell hath no fear is her tagline. Howard the Duck, yes again. Like even
Yes.
this even says like we don't know what we're doing.
I'm
with
sorry, we're still making Howard the Duck.
this. And then I love it. Howard gets a new hat.
Right, like,
that's
it's-
the tagline.
I don't care about Howard the Duck. Moving on.
Yeah, yeah. Do you care about that one, Rob?
No.
Oh, okay. This
Deadpool
one
number
is
one.
not. This one's not a surprise in any way, shape, or form.
They should have just called it No Duh.
Deadpool, no duh. More Deadpool than you wanted. It's written by the same guy. It's got a new artist on it, but
Yep.
it's. I'm excited about it, but there's nothing to say. Deadpool's
No.
coming back. We knew what was going to happen.
Yeah. This will probably blow a few minds. A Squadron Supreme book.
I'm actually really interested in seeing that.
Sole survivors of their own worlds that do anything to protect this one.
Cool.
Now, I am interested because that's the Speedball or whatever her name is, like the speedy version of the Justice League. You got
Yeah.
Sentry, I think a Sentry, right?
Yeah.
No, that's
no. It's
that's
Hyperion.
Hyperion, okay.
Sure.
I don't
But
know who the other
it's-
guys are.
Weren't they also all murdered by the Illuminati?
Yes.
Now, here's the question: will they remember that?
There's not
I
much
mean-
more to say about this except it looks interesting, but I don't know what else to say about that.
Yeah, I don't.
Mighty
I
Thor, this is why I'm continuing to think that they're just going to keep going, Sal. She's right there. And
Well,
now,
Right
the
there.
other thing is, but she's clearly dying.
well, yeah, but that's fixable. I mean, come on, who stays dead?
I'm just saying, like,
I mean, all she has to do is just stay Thor forever, and then
well,
she
and
won't
that's
die.
but like the cover here is clearly indicating like she
She's fighting
can't
that.
be Thor all the time. Like and like when she's not Thor, she's dying. So that's
I mean, the catchline is the flesh may be weak, but the thunder is strong.
yeah, like that's gonna be the emotional hook of the book is this dying Thor.
And I think it's also really appropriate too that Marvel's naming it the Mighty Thor.
Yeah,
Because now, like, it's like this is the Thor story now.
Yep.
Like that's
exactly.
it. There's
No
no,
other
more Thor
Thors.
stories. So.
There's not much more to
Maybe
say about this. I mean, we know she's hanging around, and I have a feeling that this is either going to be resolved before the next Thor, or it's gonna. That's it. We're gonna shift over.
Yeah,
And
Can
here's
you
what needs
imagine?
to happen.
Could
like-
you picture Natalie Portman with a hammer? I could totally dig that.
I would
Oh,
love
yeah,
to see
okay.
that.
But here's the deal, Jason Aaron. On the off chance you ever happen to see this podcast, please, for the love of God, tell us what it was that Nick Fury said to Thor
Oh yeah, right.
with
Come
issue
on.
number 1, please.
They're like, we don't know. We just had him say something. We don't care.
Or just like come onto the podcast, do an interview that lasts like 5 minutes, and just be like, "Here's what Nick Fury said,"
Yeah,
and then that'll be it.
right.
But no, I mean, as far as this whole her being Thor thing, I think it's cool. It'd be the coolest Easter egg ever, though, if they're in the next Thor movie. Natalie Portman's like, "Here's your hammer."
That's what I'm saying. That's what's gonna happen, man. Like Thor's gonna walk out, and she's gonna be like, "Oh, don't forget your hammer," and then she's gonna hand it to him. Like, it's
I don't
gonna
like that,
happen.
but I will take Natalie Portman as Thor.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, I would take that any day of the week.
So, okay, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 1. I don't have any hope for this book, and I personally think it's just being made because of the show.
That's
Yeah.
exactly it, man. And the show's cool, but the show's being carried by way of the other films of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
I love Agents of Shield, but Agents of Shield is on the back of Captain America and
Oh, yeah.
Thor and Iron Man
yeah.
and all that stuff. So it's not gonna.
That's why I like Arrow and the Flash better, because they stand on their own and they help each other, while Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is like, you're pretty much just watching it, waiting for the next movie tie-in stuff.
That's
to happen.
exactly it.
I
you're
like
watching
what they're
it-
doing with it, and I'm also excited about the next season because it's called Secret Warriors. So we're getting the Caterpillar Project, and we're getting like new superhero. Like they're going to be a team, like a super team.
No, but here's a problem with Agents of Shield. If you took Agents of Shield and you removed every single Easter egg and you said in this season of Agents of Shield, we're not going to be tying into like what may be coming. That is to say, like we're not going to reference the Inhumans.
Uh-huh.
We're not going to talk about any of that stuff. And you said, here's a show just about the Shield agents.
They did
it would
that.
Suck.
They
Yeah,
did
it was
that,
the
and I
first-
watched
It was
the
the
crap
first
out of
season.
I
it, was the
watched
first,
the
it was the
crap-
first season. It was the first half of the first season, and it was absolute garbage.
No, it was not. If you told
Yes,
me,
it was.
No,
Yes, it
it was-
was.
it wasn't.
Guys, can we debate the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show on another podcast? We're already out of time. We have more
Yeah.
books to go
My
on.
point being, like, you mean to tell me, like, would an Agents of Shield show be better with no Inhumans? Yeah. So would Marvel.
Don't believe that, chat. Don't believe that, chat.
Vision don't care.
Yeah, does anyone care about the Vision? I mean, this is obviously a bold new vision for the Marvel Universe. Obviously, just because of the
Sure.
movie, they want to see what's going to happen with him.
The only interesting arc the Vision ever had in the history of his publication was the Vision Quest, and that was him trying to regain his identity, and that was it.
Yeah.
That's the only.
So
real
I don't know
relevance
what's
he's
going
ever
to come out of this. He's obviously only getting a book because of the movie, and maybe they're like, oh, maybe they'll pick it up, whatever.
Yeah. Uncanny Humans looks like it's going to be the same book. Like, same
Yeah, it's
team,
exactly. Well, because honestly, it only had like an
like
issue
2
zero.
issues.
Yeah, I had like
Yeah.
2 issues and then moved on. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
this is
Zero
just going to
and
pick up
one.
where that left off. Black Bolt's going to move off with his group, and that's that.
Yeah.
Now it says here the silence is broken.
So maybe he can talk again. I don't
Maybe that's my question. Can he talk again? Of course, the last time he talked, it tipped off the Illuminati to the fact that the Skrulls were invading the planet Earth. So
know. Which was awesome.
Well,
That was really
no,
awesome.
He talked before that. He also destroyed all of New York with one word, but
yeah, that's true.
Okay, this one I find weird because you have Gamora here, by the way. This
Right.
Yeah.
It's the Contest of Champions.
Yes,
kinda
I am so okay. Fun fact.
I feel like it's a miniseries.
Those
I
of you
feel like
guys,
it's
those
gotta
of you
be.
guys who
Yeah.
looked at the original Secret Wars and he said Secret Wars 1984, the first major crossover of Marvel Comics. Nope.
Yeah,
It was actually Contest of Champions was the first major crossover in Marvel Comics, and it was awesome. So I'm really like it's just gonna be like a big battle, basically like a huge fight between like all these different characters and stuff.
Yeah.
At least I hope it is, and if it is, it's gonna be amazing.
It's gotta be a limited run. Like I know DC with the DCU
Yeah.
came out with a few books that were guaranteed limited short runs, and this has got to be one of those. Because
would
I mean,
think
this
so.
is
It'd
showing
just be a
Venom
limited
versus
series.
Gamora with Maestro and everyone. Like it's something.
Yeah.
Here's your Captain Marvel. I'm kind of happy she's coming back.
Yep. Cool.
Very happy she's coming
Good.
back.
There's not much more to say with that.
Nope.
Doctor Strange is getting a book, obviously because of the movie, to see what's going to happen. But I am interested because Jason Aaron's writing it.
Yeah,
And
but Doctor
it's Chris
Strange is.
Bachalo's art.
And it's gonna be awesome.
It is
And
going to be
Tiffany
awesome,
can't wait for
Tiffany. It is going to be
It's
awesome,
awesome.
Tiffany. But here's the
I'm
I
not
problem.
mean,
Well,
it looks promising.
I'm not
Doctor-
wild about the axe, but whatever.
Doctor
It
Strange
looks like
has
though they're
never
going to go
had-
back to a secret identity though, because the catch line is some surgery requires a scalpel, summon X. So I feel like we're going to go back to true Doctor Strange, where by day he's a doctor.
But here's the
he-
problem. Here's the problem. Doctor Strange has never had a solo series that's ever lasted.
I know.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Yeah.
this will be it.
Hopefully.
I mean, I'll buy it and I'll read it.
Yeah.
Oh, no
Mark
way I'm gonna
Waid
miss
is
it.
writing the all new, all different Avengers #1.
We saw the preview at Free
Yeah.
Comic Book Day. It was
And this
cool.
this cover art, like this Alex Ross, like this art
This
looks
is-
amazing.
This is
I'm
clearly where he
excited
put
about
all
it.
of his time. Like
Yeah.
this is the cover.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this, and I cannot wait to see what this is going to be like.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really psyched.
It looks awesome.
A-Force is getting a continuing series. That one's
Yes.
kind of like
I'm actually really excited. I love A-Force. Like, A-Force
I-
is
I
really
think
good
it's
so far.
cool, but I think it's cool because of where it is and what's happening with
Yeah,
it.
it's weird. Like I
What-
don't know what they're gonna do with it in the main universe. I love
Right.
A-Force now. I'm concerned,
Yeah.
but because
Yeah.
I don't want it to be like it's
Oh,
it's
it's the
Avengers,
all-female
but they're all
team.
girls.
Yeah, and that's pretty much that's what it looks like right now. Because what do you do with the A-Force when you remove the Secret Wars plot? Like,
Yeah. Now that said, I'm intrigued to find out.
Yeah.
But, but here's the kicker. I don't know if you caught this, Sal. It's written by Willow Wilson. She's
Yeah.
the writer for Miss Marvel.
Kamala Khan, yeah.
Yeah. But isn't she writing A-Force?
No, yeah, she is, but I'm saying she's writing the continuation one. So
Right.
how's it
What
going
about
to
me?
do? It's not like they just took the concept and handed it to someone else.
No, I'm glad they didn't do that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So okay, totally awesome Hulk, and
Yes,
the catchline
and
is who is Hulk?
And I am so happy. The definitive Incredible Hulk story writer is coming back, Greg Pak.
yeah, Greg Pak. Yeah,
Yes, and I am so psyched about this because
Frank
Greg Pak
Cho art,
gave us
that's
Planet
kinda cool.
Hulk, World War Hulk. I mean,
with
he
Frank
wrote,
Cho doing the art on that. That's
Yeah.
going to be a beautiful book.
And
it's
I have
gonna
no
be
idea
fun.
who the Hulk's gonna be. No speculation. I don't even know.
Well,
I think.
I think it's going to be Bruce Banner. I think they're making a hype for nothing.
That'd be hilarious.
It'd be funny. Like, look at, oh my god, who could it possibly be? It's your favorite Bruce Banner.
It's the
Who
Hulk.
did you
Yes.
think it was? It's Bruce
Who guessed
Banner.
that?
It's the Hulk.
Oh,
Who
we
else
lost
would it be? Oh, we lost Benny?
What was video?
Oh, no, I'm still over here, and I'm the one
Yeah,
streaming.
he's still
so
here.
fine.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
never mind.
As long as the stream side's good, we're good.
Yeah, you look good to me.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited to read this new Incredible Hulk. Now, hopefully it lasts. Because
Yeah.
I know, really.
It's cool that Pac's back on Hulk. I'm excited
Yeah,
about it.
but here's
All right.
here's a problem with Greg Pak. Just one thing before we take off.
Yeah.
Greg Pak writing Incredible Hulk stories have been limited runs.
Yeah.
I mean, and a lot of his stories have. But you look at Greg Pak, he's been like a story writer. Like you
Yeah.
look at Phoenix End Song, you look at Phoenix War Song, you look at stuff like that. They're limited series.
Planet
They're
Hulk,
not-
World Hulk. It's all he's
Yeah,
definitely
they're
which is
not
good.
like 100-issue runs. Yeah,
It's good.
it's
He
cool.
needs I think Hulk works in chunks.
Yeah.
Okay, think about that. Do you really want to be messing with Hulk chunks?
I don't.
And on that note, guys, we're way over time. I mean, we don't. We're not going to stick around for the post show today. I think the classic weekly poll coming back has run
Yeah.
long enough.
Keeping
Um,
it real.
Keeping it real.
Real.
So thank you guys for joining us today. Please, if you want to support the show, make sure you go subscribe to our Twitch channel. It does help us directly, and very soon the website's going to get an overhaul, and you'll have many more ways to support us if you'd like to support us. But don't forget, you can always go to our Twitters. All are linked on the channel right now. Go to the channels, link to those, and subscribe to the channels if you want to support us. You can. The one in the lower right-hand corner is the official weekly poll one. So if you just want to support the whole entire crew, subscribe to that one. You'll get to know. There will be essential help for that very soon. I don't really have. I mean.
That's it.
It's like that's it, yeah. We have nothing else really, guys. We will be here next week, and next week we'll probably have the official schedule for the anime and the gaming podcast, so we'll have a full-fledged thing going on for you guys.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for joining us today. I know normally we have a much longer outro, but I think we've been live for like almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been live for a long time.
Yeah.
This is a long video.
Yeah, it's a big one. But we're
So
back. It's been a long time coming.
Right,
Yeah.
and for the record, subscribers of the Twitch channel will be getting more perks soon. Right now, you get a nifty Captain America shield.
Yep.
But there will be some post and pre-shows where subscribers will be able to chat. No one else. It's sorry, guys, but we do need to pay to keep the lights on.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to. Oh God, I got to work on Planet. I got to finish the script for Planet Hulk.
Yep. So I was gonna say, so what do you got planned for the week, Rob? We'll start with you.
Yeah.
Like I got to finish Planet Hulk, and then probably World War Hulk, and then after that, I think I might do the Initiative, like the follow up to Civil War,
Oh, cool.
like what happened after Civil War, the death of Captain
Finally,
America.
your
stuff
Civil
like
War is
that.
some of your best performing videos.
Dude, man, let me tell you something. Like once I finished that Civil War, I was like, I never want to like touch a Civil War video again for as long as I live.
I know exactly how
So-
you feel because like I finished up Green Lantern and they were all like, "Now you got to
Yeah,
do the new
man.
52 arcs." I'm like,
You're
"No,
like,
I
no,
don't."
So
We
yeah,
have
that,
done for a while.
now that I'm like back because I'm back into the feeling, like I'm back to feeling Civil War again. Like I
Right.
want to do a whole bunch of that Civil War stuff. So
So, Sal, what do you got coming up this week over at Comic Pop?
Over at Comic Pop, we got tomorrow's episode of Off the Rack will be launching with Old Man Logan #2. Thursday's back issues, of course, and we have a big epic from the 80s that we're going to be discussing on back issues. I don't want to give too much away, but I will be giving a little teaser on my Twitter handle right after this episode, at Sal Says What. And Friday, we're going to wrap it up with Letters Page, and we're just going to be more consistent and much more on top of updates now that I'm back.
yeah,
And over at Comic Story, we're actually taking a pretty relaxing week. That doesn't mean there's still videos every single day, but after 2 trips all over the states and trying to maintain videos while I was gone, I pretty much burned out, guys. That's why Hush is delayed till next week. Just stick to the channel. It's a bunch of origins this week. Friday is actually going to be the origin of how Sam Wilson became Captain America. Like,
Right.
what
oh,
was?
are you serious?
It's Independence Day. Why wouldn't they do that?
Damn it, man! I was gonna do the story of how how Falcon became Captain America.
Well, good thing I announced it here and trumped you on it.
That's a really good idea.
Well, I'll release mine
Damn
the
it.
next day. What day are you releasing yours?
Mine's not on Friday.
Damn it, man!
Were you really gonna do it?
Yes.
I basically have the whole video of what happened to Steve Rogers and then what did Stan do to become him.
Well, you explain the story, and I'll explain why they didn't.
Okay.
Okay, Rob.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining us once again. Follow our Twitter handles. They're all on there right now. Subscribe to the channels. We love you all. Subscribe to the Twitch. More perks will be coming soon, and we would appreciate all of you. And now that we're back full-time, starting next week, you will see the other podcasts, and you will see a weekly Rob and Benny game. Rob sucks, Benny's awesome.
Yay! What?
that current tentative title, but I think it's what's going to go.
That's a terrible title.
We'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much.
Later, guys.
Bye.
Still alive. We're still alive. We're still alive. And we're not.